Hey everyone, it's Matt and Roy from Roy PM and of course ESC United. We're here to talk about this very long Saturday super setting and just everything that happened over the last week or so. And let me tell you, a lot has happened. Roy, have you recovered from last night?
Oh boy, there was a lot going on last night, and to be honest, it hasn't been the worst for my own personal taste, but it has been a lot to just get in all of those national selections happening at the same time. You need to switch from the one show to the next one, and it was a lot. It was a
Yeah.
lot.
And someone pointed out already in the chat, that's not how you start a video. How do you start a video, Roy? On Roy PM.
Oh God.
Say it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen,
Say
welcome to the live stream.
There you go. Oh, I should say, sup, you fools. No, so we're here to discuss it. And now we wanted to do initially last night, but after all these hours and it was past midnight in Europe. Now, my time, I would have been fine. We figured let's just do a little bit more of a relaxed and less stressful and tired live stream. And because a lot has happened and we got to walk through all of that. And since there's so much to talk about, let's not delay it any further because my list here is so I assume you watched at least all of the national finals, not the semis yesterday, correct? So you're up on top
Yes.
of Spain. The nice thing about Spain was it was like, it didn't overlap for the most part because they started so late. Like when the other shows were starting to wrap up already, so we could then just focus on Benidorm Fest 2023. And as you all know, there were 2 semifinals with 9 songs each, and then out of those 9, 4 moved on to the grand final. Therefore, we had a lineup of 8 songs, and of course, as always, the expert jury, the demoscopic jury, and the televote then would pick their favorites, and then ultimately we would have a winner. So before we go through the songs and the winner, of course, let's remind ourselves what was in the lineup. There you have it. And as you could probably tell, those who paid attention, but in case you were not, this was actually the order from last to first place of last night's result, which then already tells you that I was going to say Paloma Blanca because there's a song, but it's oh la Paloma, but it's Blanca Paloma who ultimately won the national final in Spain. Therefore, is going to Liverpool, and she won the expert jury and she won the televote, even though we found out it was pretty close in the televote. I'm not sure if you paid attention this morning, but she won it nevertheless, and then came second in the demoscopic jury. So before we go through all of it, how did you feel about the songs, the quality of the show overall, Roy, of Benidorm 2023?
I think it was a step up from last time around. I think last time around we had a lot of songs that I had hoped that would be really good live that really underperformed. And I think we still had that issue a little bit. A lot of the songs were not what people were expecting of them live. Vocally, not all of them were very strong, but I think in the end, if you look at the 8 songs that were in the final, I think it makes sense that they were there. And most of them had decent to good vocals, especially the ones that were the front runners, basically. So overall, I think Spain can look back at a successful Benidorm Fest. I will say, though, last time around, you had like some big songs that were really the favorites among people. It wasn't that much hype for 1 or 2 songs this time, right? It was more like spread across the room. So that was a bit different, but you have different years every year. And overall, I think Spain can look back at a good show.
Yeah, it is certainly not like what it used to be pre-22, when they just like couldn't figure out, let's do a random national final with no real guidance. Let's do an internal selection, but just pick whatever the artist wants, all that stuff, right? And it just became, an issue. And just like so many other countries, because you never know, was last year just a fluke, or was it something that can stick? Like whatever stuck with the Netherlands, whatever stuck with other countries who have performed meh and then just came back. Hopefully the UK will fall into that category as well. But as pointed out, Blanca Paloma won with her song. Initially was a very well-liked song, but it was nowhere near the top of overall like betting odds, fan favorite polls or whatever. And then her semi-final performance just blew so many people away and quickly became one of the favorites, along with Agani, to win this thing. And then she actually made it in the end. So what were you thinking after, like, right before the results came in? You think this is what's going to happen? What was going on in your mind?
I think I pretty much thought that Blanca Paloma would win after the semifinal. I think she performed the song, and we've kind of had a lot of artists that were okay vocally, but none of them to her extent. Like, she blew everyone out of the water vocally, and she got 92 out of, I think, a max of 96 points from the juries in the semifinal. Did she win the I don't think so. I think she got second as well in the semifinal.
Yeah, she was. She didn't win the demoscopic jury either in the semis.
Exactly. And in the televote, she did win again. So I basically thought, okay, the juries are most likely going to go for Blanca Paloma in the grand final as well over Agony. So I kind of already figured it out at that point, maybe, but it was still exciting to see if she could actually pull it off, because it's always going to be a bit of a different dynamic with the songs from the first semifinal. Maybe some jurors liked one song the most from semifinal 1, and that drowns her out like a bit lower in the ranking. Like, she could become like the 5th place of a juror all of a sudden. So it will always be a bit of a, will she win or will she not? But I pretty much thought she would.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about in a minute also about, we've had a conversation about that before on Twitter, about the scaling of the juries and how that could impact or give the juries, the expert juries in particular, I'm referring to, unfair advantage. Because I saw when the results came in, I'm like, well, I think we already know the answer at this point, but more, unless really things go really sour for Blanca in the televote, which we knew wasn't going to happen. But anyways, so yeah, let's talk about the song real quick before we talk about the competition that didn't win, but still deserves a lot of credit and love and respect. The song itself, I said it before, I did initial ranking before the shows, when the songs are released. Blanca Paloma song was pretty high up in my ranking. I thought it was just a very classy and unique song, and I felt as this song would really add a lot of flavor and excitement and interest in Eurovision, because it was something a little bit more risky. I really liked the song, and it wasn't like my person number 1, but it was probably in my top 3. So when it won, I was like, I would call Blanca Paloma the potential to go all the way or all the way to the bottom. I think that Blanca Paloma's falls into what Serbia and France had last year, right? The little bit more risky choices that can work or flop. In Serbia's case, it worked. In France's case, not so much. And it's not comparing the styles and the genres. I'm just talking about the risk factor. Will people click and connect with it? That is the question. So I'm a little bit nervous about Spain's chances at the contest. At the same time, I'm thrilled that they're sending something so different and unique. And I am more leaning towards I think people will appreciate it. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I agree that it's very polarizing. Like, we're not comparing the song to France last year, as in instrumentally or how it sounds. Neither do we with Serbia, but it is a very out there song, and it is very much the same conversation. Will the general audience get it as well? I love it. A lot of Euro fans love it, but we are in this little quirky bubble where we just love a lot of national pride, a lot of cool elements that we get from Spain. I don't know. I think her vocals will really go a long way. And if you don't connect with the song instrumentally, perhaps you will fall in love with how epic her vocals sound. And that might give her the edge over something that France has sent last year. We also will have to wait to see the full lineup, of course. But it's at least a little bit more to cling on to than just the instrumental that's a bit odd or a bit different. It's also her amazing voice and the amazing performance, because she put it together, if I remember correctly, because she's a stage designer. I think I read it somewhere. I might be wrong on that, but it looked really good.
It did, and I said I liked the song before, but I remember watching. I know Melanie, our dear Melanie from ESC United, she was there. I tried not to listen to it. I didn't want to get it spoiled, so I was like la la la. But I saw the semis, and I was like, it was like this moment, like, did this just happen? That was this is like, I was not surprised. It has this. This is where why a good performer can make or break a thing, right? And I'm not saying the song was average. The song was good to begin with, but when you add such a phenomenal singer and performer, it just brings up, because this could have been if you, I'm sorry to pick on someone, but if Nocta would have performed it, would have been like the same kind of magic, vocally. I don't think so. So it really matters what comes together. So, but based on, just real quick, Roy, based on your hunch, I know we only have 7 out of 37 songs. I'm not asking you to put a position where Spain's going to end, but are you leaning on this is going to work or not going to work? What is your hunch telling you?
I think it will work. I think I'm not gonna say a top something like. I think they could aim for the top 10 or something like that. I'm not sure if it will be in the picture to be Eurovision winner, like some people are saying. Like, I think it is just a bit too out there for the general audience, but I do think they'll have a solid result with this song. That's where I'm leaning towards. What do you think?
Yeah, I say I'm leaning towards that this is going to, because I feel as this song has also a lot of jury appeal. Spain doesn't have to about semis, where it's only televote. So I can Spain easily be in the top 5 of the juries, just based on its own quality, the merit, right? I don't know what the competition, but just based on the merit of the song, I can see this a top 5 jury. And even if it's not going to go as big with the televoters, potentially, I have a hard time imagining a reality where Spain does not end up in the top 10 in this time around. But I'm not 100% sold on this, but I do think some people also in the chat, by the way, when you want to talk to us at ESC United, so we know you're talking to us, but some people mentioned Portugal from 2019. I was calling telemovies or whatever. Can you see that comparison?
The thing is with Telemoves and also Finland from last year is that both of them were quite dark in sound and in staging, but also their vocals were really more buying into that narrative, like being this very dark kind of edgy song, where their vocals make it a lot more light. So I don't think that is necessarily the comparison that I would go for. I would more go to Amanecer from a couple of years back. She had amazing vocals as well, but the song itself didn't really necessarily back it up. I think this one is a bit more backed up, but we also progressed from those years. I don't remember on top of my head what year it was. I'm always terrible with 2012 to 2015. That's a bit of a blur for me. But you get what song I mean. I think that is a bit more of a reliable comparison. Like, that could happen, such a bad result, but I am inclined to say it would probably do a bit better than that.
Yeah. Alexander is saying the song is much better prepared than Finland for me. In the visual idea is ready. I can't fail. It can't fail on stage. It's all up to the viewers to appreciate it, but there will be an audience. I think that's a fair statement. And then Twonk 9495 says, I just can't see Spain doing well. It's very messy. Bottom 10 IMO. So as you can see, as Roy perfectly summarized it, polarizing. But
Yes.
the thing is, and I know I sound like a broken record. I say it in almost every of my videos. You cannot vote against a song, right? So you can have as many haters as you want. It won't matter. This is not like a ranking thing. It all comes down to who will, if there's any passion, because the last thing you want is send another song that is just, middle of the road. It's nice, and then, you're not going to be in anyone's top 10. So if you see some dissent towards the Spanish entry, be excited about it. I know it sounds weird, but I really mean it. Like, you want people to feel passionate either way. That usually is a good recipe. But before we just spend too much time, I want to at least give a little bit shout out to the other 7 songs. Roy, now we talk all the time. I'm trying to remember. I believe based on what I gathered, we had actually technically the same favorite in the finals. What was your favorite song if you had to pick one?
If I had to pick my song from the final, it would be Megara with Arcadia.
Me too. Yeah, my favorite. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. We both knew it wasn't going to happen. So, but I was glad that they did really well. I think they came 4th in the end, right? So,
yeah, they did a lot better than I expected, especially when you saw the semi-final results, because they barely scraped through to the final.
Yes, the juries got better. Like, the juries brought it up a little bit in the finals. I think they finally started to appreciate a little more. Still not enough.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see them that low with the juries in the semi-final, because I thought that performance, together with Agony and of course Blanca Paloma, they were Eurovision ready, if I were to say so. So I was really surprised to see it down that low. So I'm glad that it got up a little bit in the rankings and got 4th.
Yeah. Is there a song that pleasantly surprised you in the finals? You're like, oh, yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this now. Is there something that really stood out to you that you had like a really positive reaction to, or was it kind of like already set in stone from the semis and what you've had in the past?
I mean, Blanca Paloma definitely surprised me that it was good. I expected it to be good, so I don't know if that's that much of a step up. I had very low expectations for my 2 favorite studio cuts, and I think they kind of met the expectations while they still weren't that good. They were both Tuki in semifinal 1 and Tracción in semifinal 2. So yes, both last places were my favorite studio cuts. I know I was crying, but they weren't very good live, and I kind of knew that was going to happen. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with that. I think Twin Melody, the song in the semi-final from the 2 girls, I expected that to be a lot worse as well. I don't know.
Me too. I was actually, I actually didn't hate it, because I did not like the studio cut. And then I saw live, I'm like, I am low-key enjoying this.
Yeah, I had exactly the same. And I actually thought Non Chatera would also not be that good, but she was very solid vocally. I still thought it was a tad empty here and there, but that's some personal preference.
Yes, no, the thing is, I love that song, right? I love this quirky, like, I'm Mama feeling. That's like the closest to I'm Mama, I think, from last year in terms of like vibes. And I love the studio cut. I was kind of like underwhelmed in the semis, but for some reason that's the one I want to point out, like in the finals, I'm like, oh, I'm getting it now. I was totally into it, and you could hear the audience sing along, so that added so much fun. So I'm so glad she did well. She came as a deserved 3rd place. Granted, it's no cigar, because but it's still, I think, a great accomplishment. I hope she's going to get a lot of success out of it. Collins is saying Alice Wonder was a disappointment. People thought it could actually win. Here's the thing with Alice Wonder. I always knew it would be a polarizing entry, and I genuinely loved it. But as soon as I saw the semis, I'm like, no, that's the end of it. That's where a underwhelming performer can, where a really solid performer can make the difference. And here, unfortunately, I'm not saying Alice Wonder is not a great performer, but whatever it was, on those nights where it counted, she didn't deliver. And that was a big disappointment. How did you feel, Roy?
I think when I saw it for the first time in the semi-final, I liked the first half or something about the song. But then it kind of lost me towards, there were so many camera shots that were a bit more of a wider audience. And then beat came in, and it kind of just left me a bit in the middle in the ending. So that was a bit unfortunate. Like, she got me in the beginning, but she kind of let go of me as a watcher. So yeah, I also was a tad disappointed, but not overly disappointed. It wasn't necessarily one of the songs I had super high. So yeah, it was okay for me, to be honest.
Yeah. Danielle is saying, Danielle Clementi, I was pleasantly surprised by Fusa Nocta and Jose Otero in the final. IMO, they really improved the camera cuts and vocals. And yes, I agree with Roy. Twin Melody performed very well. I agree half with that time. I think Jose definitely improved.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough. Fuse Nocta still sounded bad to me. I'm sorry. I was kind of like, so I could not tell a major difference. But some people said they did. But Jose certainly, one of the things with Jose to me was it blended better because the backup track, you know, the vocals, they were like harmonizing and singing, like it's almost like a duet. But in the semis, it was so disjointed, the sound, that it was grating on my ears. Here, it was definitely mashing much, much better. Any other thoughts?
I just saw a comment from Jelle that Alfred was also quite a surprise in the semi-final. I thought that staging was done phenomenally. It was more like a video clip rather than a real stage performance, and that can be very hit or miss. We've seen it at Eurovision before as well. I thought it was very delicately done. I don't know. I think it's also a bit of you either like it or you hate it. But I thought that was really good as well. And what you said about Fusa Nocta, it's just unfortunate because it's such a cool song. It was so intriguing. And I saw the first performance live and it was just a mess. And I was jokingly tweeting before it was going to perform, like, this is either going to be amazing and going to blow everyone out of the water, or it's going to be a car crash. And then what did I see? The first thing on the stage, a car. So that was a bit unfortunate, I guess.
I know, and that's one of the things to add context there. Somebody had to tell me that. I'm not sure if you knew the reason why she had a car on there, because it's about Mi Familia and was her grandfather's car she remembered it growing up and was such an important thing to her, which is all well and dandy. But if the rest of us don't get it, you know, like it just doesn't. You need for people to connect with it. It's like me bringing a belt on stage. Oh, I remember I got spanked when I was bad by my dad. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. You know, it's not that, you know, you would have fond memories of that, but you get my point. If it doesn't click with the audience, you need to do it like what Victoria did in 21 in Bulgaria, you know, have a picture of her dad. You're like, okay, that's clearly a family member that she is mourning, you know, even though you don't know that person, you know, the relationship, you need to get that connection.
It kind of needs to be a bit more literal.
Yes. Because you know, especially with like 40 countries, you know, with I almost said 40 different languages. You know, I don't want to say that, but you get. Well, actually, you can think some speak multiple languages. Who knows?
You could maybe write like dad's car on the side, but that would also like kind of
my grandpa's car.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bad idea, actually.
Yes, maybe we should not. So that's what we have. So Spain, I think. And that's one of the things I want to point out. So before we move on to the next country, Spain, and I think it kind of falls in the same category what I said about France last year. No matter how you feel about the song, they had a great selection, and in my opinion, a very popular winner. Even if, let's say, worst case scenario, Blanca Paloma underperforms in Liverpool because people just don't click with it, I don't think Spain should look at this as a discouraging sign, because every country at times flops. Sweden flops, believe it or not, every once in a while. So things like that happen. It's just sometimes a song does not click. So that's also my biggest fear. Like, one bad result should not be an indicator of they hate us. You know, like, oh, yeah, no, we're not going to do well.
And like last year, it was so unfortunate that after we had the entire show and kind of like an unexpected winner won, Chanel got so much hate because one of the two favorites didn't win. And at least we don't have that right now. Like, the general consensus,
a little bit, but for the most part, we should be
okay. Like it's a lot better than it was last year. So in that regards, it's definitely a step up. And, you know, see how you did last year. You did incredibly, Spain. So
yeah,
I think you're in good hands.
Exactly. And the last question before we move on to the next country is, and people ask, oh, yes, we talk about the other national finals as well, but Spain was the last one. It's a big one, of course. But talk about the other ones as well. What is your personal opinion about the fact? Oh, actually, I didn't answer one of the questions that I mentioned earlier. I have one other thing about the fact that the results are already revealed in the heats of the semifinals, as it is, for example, in Benidorm Fest. Roy, just like a few seconds, your thoughts about, we know already who won and what's popular with the juries and the televoters. You think that's a good idea, or should they just keep it secret for suspense or just fairness?
I get it. I get that people are a bit like, yeah, okay, you could kind of see it coming, so it kind of ruins a bit of the surprise. But I quite like it because it also gives the artists an idea, okay, I need to improve my act. So perhaps if it wasn't the best in semifinals, they can find a few tweaks here and there to make it better for the grand final if they were a bit lower in the competition. Like Lithuania does it, for example. They also have like a bit of a panel who gives feedback. But I think that works really well for those acts. But I do get that it kind of ruins a bit of a surprise who are the front runners. But
yeah, to me, it's, I mean, the surprise is certainly one fact. I can live with the not being surprised factor, even though it makes for great reactions, right? But it's, to me, it's more about people's subconscious behavior, and that's what I hate about, for instance, Melodifestivalen, where they do have the jury vote, but people are still allowed to vote. When they see, oh, my favorite clearly not going to win, I'm gonna I'm gonna vote for my second favorite that has the better chance of winning. You know what I mean? So people, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, will be affected by it, and that is my biggest concern about that. That's why I would prefer to keep it secret, to be fair and even objective towards that situation. The question,
it's at least transparent, though.
Yeah, transparent, but you can be transparent. Eurovision is now transparent after the fact. You know what I mean? You still get the results. So that's how I feel. I know we got to move on. I'm trying to get the ball going, but I did promise a question. The scaling about juries, Roy. We talked about it.
Yes.
Because the expert jury has on paper more power than the demoscopic and then the televoters, because even though in the end the televoters agreed with the expert juries, I could see with Blanca Paloma having 94 points already from the expert jury, it was almost impossible for Agoni to catch her, because we knew that Blanca would be bare minimum top 3 in the televote. And even then, if she would have gotten 3rd, it wouldn't have not been enough. While the highest score that the televote can give is 40, demoscopic jury highest score 40, 80. So there's a 94 from the experts, and you can only get up to 80 from the other side. You think that this is an issue?
As a maths nerd, I studied maths before and whatnot, but I kind of hate it because it is not 50-50. Yep. Like the demoscopic jury is like a representation of the people in Spain, so it is kind of like a public vote. But then like they combined have 80 points, and there are 8 judges who can all give 12 points. That's a total of 96 maximum points. That is more than the 80 points that you would get with a televote. I do like that they translate the televote to like set integers, because else you can get that 50% of the people, if they have a massive fan base, they can all just vote for it and just have such a big landslide with the televote that the juries cannot even matter. Like what happened with France with Bilal Hassani, for example. I just think they should have really translated the jury votes into those integers as well, of like 80, 70, 60. You know, then it would be completely fair, because then there would not be any discrepancies between the juries and the televote.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it either. And that would have made a big difference probably last year as well. There, the winner would have made a big difference. And this year wouldn't have mattered for that reason. But still, it also took away a little bit of the excitement, of course, because you knew, like, okay, you know, since she got, Blanca got 12 points from 7 of 8 jurors, and 1 gave it 10, you know. So I'm like, there's no way. Exactly. There's no way. And people asking about the demoscopic jury, Jocasta, do you like the demoscopic jury? Quite confusing, because nobody understands who's in it. The problem about that, my issue as well, who is in it? How is it being compiled? And that's where the transparency is lacking a little bit. And I'm not saying the cheating or anything, but it's optics. Optics matter. I personally said before, do it like they do in Italy. Third, you know, and then you have it all set. At the same time, I understand there's the issue in Spain, voting being so expensive, because even Blanca, she got less than 10,000 votes, right? In a country like Spain, that is insane. A vote is like €1.50 or something like that.
I read that, yeah.
I wouldn't vote. I'm like,
me neither.
No. So I don't think you get a pure, only the people who have money can vote, and then it's not very representative either. So, and who has usually the money? Older people. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have your 18-year-olds, like, you know, who maybe if still an allowance, call in. I'm getting a nasty call from the dad. So, yeah. So, but that's the point. So we both agree that it should be evenly scaled between those groups to make it fair, whether one way or the other.
There needs to be a bit of a tweak. And, you know, you can't really do it like a Eurovision, because then you have, the country has this televote that is 12-1. You could do it with regions, but then it's really difficult to check what region you're from. So that complicates things again. They
did that in Norway, though, in the past. So who knows?
True. They did it in Portugal as well. I think they did it really well, actually. Because then you can also get a thing like last year with Thanks to Geras, who got so many votes from one region. And then that just be 12. I think that's a bit more fair than like all of them voting for one song because it's from that region. So Yeah, it's just like voting systems are just weird because you always have something to pinpoint and be like, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't like it.
you can always work on it. That is true.
Mhm.
Let's move on to the next country because another song was selected yesterday. Norway, after 3 semifinals, finally had a grand final and selected a song. I'm sure people have a lot of opinion. Everyone in the chat, we're going to talk about it. But before we do so, once again, we had 3 semis. In each semi, we had 7 songs, right? Yeah, 7 songs. And
Yes.
3 from each semi qualified based on the televote. And then we had a lineup of 9 songs. And then ultimately, half of it was international jury yesterday, half of it was televote. And then the combined, we had the results, which was different from previous years. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So I'm going to spoil it right here, right now. I'm going to give you the, as a reminder, a summary and a recap of the songs and in order where they finished. Okay, there was a slight issue at the very end. There was supposed to be the winner, but I will not allow for that to be played. No, I probably just put in the wrong clip there. But the winner in the end, the one you did not get to listen to, well,
Sing
in
it.
name. What?
You should sing it then.
Okay. Queen of the Kings. Da 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 da. Hey!
Hey!
I don't think she does. Hey. But no, it's Alessandra, Queen of Kings. And she won the jury and the televote, and both. I mean, the jury vote was, I wouldn't call it closest, but not like landslide-ish. But the televote, there were 2 clear favorites. Ulrike in second place, far ahead of the rest of the pack, and then another big gap. And then there is Alessandra. And we got to talk about it. I know there was a lot of talk. Ulrike initially was the big talk within the Eurovision bubble, becoming the favorite. And then as the jury votes were coming in, Roy, I think people realized, or like probably fans, like, maybe not. What was your thinking as Ulrike was? Sometimes, I mean, she still did great. She came in third overall, I think, in the jury vote. But
second. Oh, yeah.
No, third. But she got like 1 pointers at times from the juries and all that stuff. So she was certainly far behind the top 2. Did you realize that this is not going to happen?
I realized that in the semifinal, to be honest.
Yeah.
I heard the song and I don't know. It was so catered towards Eurovision that you kind of missed the disconnect with the emotion and her song for me. And like it was so written for it. And like you had Alessandra who like she jumped out of your screen in the semifinal, and I was like, yeah, she won the semifinal. It like I just had this epiphany, maybe like, oh hey, that was so much better than Ulrike did, and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. And then she still got second, which is wonderful, but it just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't as good as, I forgot the name of her previous song that she won with.
Attention.
Yeah, Attention, and it just was a bit too much trying to be the winner of Melody Grand Prix. And usually when you try too much, people will see through it. And it will not work out as well usually. So I kind of already saw it coming in the semifinals perhaps, but when you saw the points coming in, I was like, yeah, my thoughts and issues were kind of justified in a way.
Yeah, no, I kind of felt the same. Even like when I heard the song, like I could see this one winning, but I got a little bit more kind of 21 vibes on this one, where I think the bubble really likes, and the people like it too. But I feel like there is something missing for like the general crowd to completely go behind it, even though, it has, I called, honestly, a little bit of a Husavik vibe, so that's probably a lot of people gravitate towards it. And I love it too. Don't get me wrong. I love it, honestly. But I do also believe that Queen of Kings slayed. I mean, I was just like, oh my God. And the song to me was always my favorite to begin with. So I going into this from bias level, but even objectively, when she took the stage, she has stage personality, she has charisma, she is just like a ball of energy, and it was amazingly well staged, especially at the beginning. They added, because I always thought the studio version was too short, and I'm glad they added the intro, which was very, very interesting because it starts almost mysterious, like very softly, and then she comes in queen. I thought it was so well executed. I thought from the moment I saw it, this is the one to beat. I don't know who can. And then people didn't talk about it as much. I mean, they did because it was a popular song, but it was always Ulrike, and then Yannick came the name, the surprise winner. And I'm like, it's going to be Queen of Kings. So I am very happy that the juries and the televoters agreed on that. There's not going to be any I'm sure there'll be people disappointed. People will always be disappointed, but I think it's a great and deserving winner in a national final that, first of all, was fantastic. So many cool songs. Like after Spain, we had Norway. I mean, technically they came first, but you get my point. Really high quality again from Norway. And I said before, I am not happy with that because I cannot afford Norway. And so I want them to flop. Flop, Alessandra.
No, don't say that.
No, I don't. People will step this out. They will now. I win it all for me by all means. But yeah, it's an expensive place. So I think I think it's a great song. How you feel about the song?
Yeah, I mean, it's a new EDM genre at Eurovision. Like, we have never had a psytrance song at Eurovision, which is basically the beat. Difficult to explain how it exactly sounds. It's also why a lot of people compare it to, for example, Run to the Hills last year, which was also a psytrance song. I loved it from the beginning as well. It's catchy. I always love a very fast-paced song. Like, that will help me a lot. Like, I just move very fast to the beat, and that's just my cup of tea. I think she performed it decently well. It was a good choreography. I don't know how much autotune was used.
I was going to say that as well. My next question, since you already brought it up, do you think is that the biggest concern?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest like singing person. Like, I don't know how much autotune was used. I'm not the best in picking out, oh, this was very heavily autotuned. It didn't sound insanely heavy. Like, maybe she had some assistance. I don't know how far they went with it. But yeah, I mean, I guess it is at least a little thing that we still have to wait for to see how it will exactly sound in Eurovision. Like,
yeah,
usually you have the finished product of Norway, and this is how it will also sound at Eurovision. Now we have that little bit of like, ooh, will she be good without autotune or not?
To bring in Jonathan D's comment in the chat, autotune is not a big problem. Some seem to think it is. I mean, Melfest uses heavy backing tracks, and Sweden haven't had any vocal issues in ESC from what I remember. So there are a few things to point out. I mean, we know the situation in Norway with autotune. It's different from Sweden, who doesn't use autotune, but they use back tracks. So Victor Krone doesn't sing half throughout the songs usually, right? And you wouldn't even know, because the backtrack is so loud. But at Eurovision, there are different rules. They are different. Even like with the new backup tracks can be used, they are not allowed to cover up your voice. You have to have the prominent vocals in the song. And to that, backup tracks are not allowed to be the main lead vocals or melody, only harmonies. So those are all very different factors. So at Eurovision, at least at this point, hopefully it'll stay that way, you cannot rely on autotune. You cannot rely on the backtrack to do your work. That's why sometimes you see, like in Austria last year, even though the backtracks, Pia, who was not necessarily the best vocal live singer, still had a backup singer with her to help her, because you cannot use a backtrack to cover up her voice. And that is still the case. And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I don't think it would be that bad either. Like, it doesn't sound like she's completely incapable of singing. All of a
No,
sudden.
I'm not saying
like,
about her. We're talking about general statement right now.
Oh yeah, true. No, but a lot of the times autotune is just used to like even out a few things that just don't go completely to plan, because it can also be nerves. Like, you can be nervous and the song, you just have like something that's just a little bit pitchy, and it gets ironed out in this performance, I guess. But in Eurovision, I guess you can't hide behind it anymore. But I don't think she's a bad singer, so she'll be fine.
Yeah. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. Let's talk about some of the other songs. Who was your favorite out of the nine songs I'm running? If you had to pick, it's Roy's MGP. Who would have Roy picked?
I mean, it was for me between Queen of Kings and Echo Ini Mai. I think both are really good bangers. I really, really like them. I think my third place would be Atle Pettersson's song.
Oh, really? I didn't think that was a Roy-friendly song. So
no, it doesn't sound like one, huh? No,
it doesn't.
I don't know. It was really well orchestrated. It just got staged really well. I thought it was very fitting for the song, and it just worked. His vocals were good too. I don't know. I just quite liked it.
He had more. By him, I could easily tell the autotune though. And one thing that bothered me about Yannis' song always, and I know they play within the rules, so you can't necessarily fault them, but the big part is the female vocals, and that's also recorded. And it really took the magic out of me. Like, I cannot look past it. I could not look past that. Like, it bothered me to no end. And
I think that is the reason why it wasn't one of the big front runners in the end. But I can also see that they can argue it is kind of a vocal chop. It's not necessarily a vocal chop, because then you would have like it very repetitively after each other. But you can like heavily tweak the voice, because it doesn't sound like a very natural voice to sing.
No.
And that be like part of the beat instead of the voice itself. But it's just like a fine line that's like kind of blurry.
If this would have won Eurovision, if this would have won MGP, at Eurovision, they would have had to have an actual real singer doing that part.
I don't know.
It's the main melody. It's the melody. I
don't know if it is, to be honest. Like, yes, I get what you mean, but like Alexander Wallman had it as well with the Joust song, and I know that he was also singing a big part of the chorus itself, but it kind of blended into this vocal choppy kind of thing. So I don't know. It's very much, how can you argue that it isn't the main melody? And I think they might have been able to argue out of that equation. I don't know.
I don't think that would have been a lot of delegation, or that would have. But we don't have to worry about it. Were you surprised it didn't do as well in the televote? Because people thought this could be a potential surprise.
I was quite surprised, to be honest.
I think 6.
6 in televote. Let me check.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
That is quite surprising, to be honest, because if you paid a little bit of attention to the charts, it was like Queen of Kings got like massive streams. It went quite viral on TikTok as well, if I remember correctly. And then Echo Ini Mai was like quite clearly the second highest streamed song, and then honestly barely scraped into the top 50, I believe, in the Spotify charts. So I was quite surprised they didn't get that many televote points, but maybe they all kind of went to Alessandra, because it is also a psytrance song. So like it's kind of similar genres, maybe a little bit. So all of those points kind of went to Alessandra. I don't know.
Okay. Matt, what is a song called from Ike? But say it more funny. Why do I say it in a funny way? Echo Ini Meg. Is that how you say it?
No.
How do you say it?
It's Echo Ini Mai. Because like with the EG ending, it's like an I sound in Norwegian. So and Mai, like it means echo in me. It's kind of even a little bit German, I guess. Like mine.
Mine is, but if you read the word, even a German would read MEG, would read Meg.
Yeah, I mean, Meg. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Were you surprised, going back to the results, that Swing It Prohibition came in 3rd place with the televoters? I mean, came last with the jury, so they had no shot. But they came first.
I mean, it was fun. You can't deny that. Like I watched that performance in the semi-final. I think when I reacted to the songs, I don't think I had it last, but I had like second last or something. It wasn't on my radar at all. And then I watched the performance. I was really having a nice time with the song. Like I quite enjoyed watching it. I quite enjoyed listening to it. I can totally get why you sit at home and think, yo, this is fun. I'm going to give it a vote. So maybe third is a bit high, but I do understand that it did quite well with the televote.
Okay.
Sorry that it's not your answer that you were looking for, perhaps, but
That is kind of right. No, I'm like multitasking, so my eyes going back and forth.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the televote results, I mean, the top 2 didn't surprise me, but some of the anything between third and ninth place surprised me, including both Swing It and Skrillex beating Elsie Bay and Yone, which came as a surprise to me. But that's sometimes you just don't know. The juries, if anything, were more predictable this time around. The biggest disagreement overall on the night was for Atle Pedersen, who came second with the juries and second to last with the televoters. Were you surprised? I'm not surprised I say that I disagree. I'm a bit surprised that Atle Pedersen flopped so much with the televoters. I thought he would do a little better than that.
Yeah, I thought so as well. Like, it's a solid performance, and I get that out of all of the songs, it's not the one that you would vote for necessarily, but second to last is maybe a bit harsh on it. Like, it's not that bad, or I mean, it isn't bad because the jury clearly gave it second place.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was surprising to me, definitely, that not more people were voting for it. But perhaps they saw through the autotune a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably could be. Real quick before we move on, questions in the chat at ESC United. Roy, again, I'm going to do the same thing as I did with Spain a minute ago. Based just on the merit of the song quality and your gut, what do you see in store for Norway at Eurovision this year? Do you think this could go really far? Where is it potential flop and not non-qualifier? What is your gut feeling tell you about Queen of Kings?
I can sense potential show opener of the semifinal, because I think their first half of the semifinal, I think that would be a really cool way to start Eurovision this year.
Which they did with MGP, was the first song off the first semi.
Exactly. I think this is a really fun song, and I can also see a lot of my friends, for example, really enjoy it. I think my mom would love this song, by the way. I'll send her this later, and I'll come back to that with you. I think a lot of people will get behind it. The juries clearly love it as well. So I think this will be enough to go through to the final. I don't think they have to worry that much. I mean, granted, it's quite a difficult semifinal. We'll get to that later, probably.
Yeah.
And we don't know many of the songs yet. But if you look at it, kind of, if you compare it to last year, I think it would be good enough.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat from Let's Dance. This always helps, especially with the EBU really making life difficult for us fan media to cover our cost going forward. So any of support, whether it's super chat, become a member here on YouTube or on Patreon, any support is highly appreciated. And if you can financially support us, that is totally fine as well. What you can do, always like every video that we have, comment on it. That helps in the algorithm, and haven't subscribed
even more than a like.
Yeah. Comments are very, very important. So comment on our videos. Even if you just say, great song, thank you so much. Whatever it is, help us out. Thank you. Let's see some questions. Just 1 or 2 questions. Emily says, I think this is qualifying. I hate making predictions so early in the season. Maybe over time, people will overplayed it or overheard it because it's the hype of TikTok. I mean, not everyone is on TikTok. That's one of the things. I don't think TikTok should be used in any shape or form to measure a song's success. I know we're talking about Rosa Lynn maybe, but then it went to the mainstream charts, so that's where it has to go first. TikTok alone will not be enough. And people getting tired. I don't know. The vast majority of people watching Eurovision, they've never heard of that song. So they just heard it for the first time. Yes, maybe we will maybe listen to it too much, and be like, I'm tired of the song. But the vast majority of people, what else?
Interestingly, though, like the song actually made it to a few different countries across Europe in the charts. Like I remember Queen of Kings after the first semifinal, it even went to the Dutch Spotify playlist somewhere, or top 50 somewhere in there. Not in the top or anything, but like apparently people in the Netherlands picked up on it and listened to it. I don't think that would all be Euro fans. That would be a bit mad if we had that much power.
Yeah. But then we go back to, and now 2020 never happened, so we never have the evidence of that. But Think About Things became quite big before Eurovision already across the continent. But that, I think, was working in his favor, because even though people heard it before, it's not like they listened to it, to death. So they just like, oh, I like the song. I know it. I'm going to vote for it. It's going to be an advantage. It's not like they overplayed it too much. In the bubble, yeah, but the average person, not so much.
And I think the question was also a bit more directed towards the bubble, because
Okay.
a lot of Eurofans really tend to overplay the songs that we get early, because now you're kind of grasping like, oh, there's 7 songs. I need to listen to this one because I kind of like this one a lot. And then you kind of overplay it for yourself, so it drowns out in your ranking a bit more. And then people start to, oh, will it qualify? So I think that's more what they're going for.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's and by the way, at the end of the stream, like when we're done with the main topic, we do a quick Q&A as well. So if you have any other questions, of course, hold on to them. For now, let's talk Ireland. Not yesterday, but the day before, we had Eurosong 2023, where we had another song. We had a total of 7 songs selected. Let's take a quick look again at the songs in the running in order of how they ranked in the end.
I was down in the rain, had to go and make a change. Attacks from the left and the right, they were coming almost every single day. I was down in the rain, had to go and make a change. Attacks from the left and the right, they were coming almost every single day. Attacks from the left and the right, they were coming anytime them boys saw us.
Geez, I'm messing up so much. That was not in the order of how they're ranked. This is actually the running order of it, but close enough. So this was the running order of the show on Friday, and we do have a winner. In the past, Ireland hasn't had much success at Eurovision. They had the Late Late Show that they used, which is a late night talking show where they just put on a small stage, and the sound has always been pretty bad. So ultimately, since it didn't really work out, they decided, let's keep doing that for 23 as well, because that's going to fix it. And so, yeah, the sound quality, again, arguably not the best, and maybe it hurt some of the chances. But ultimately, we did have a winner, and it's We Are Young. And they will perform, the name of the band is Wild Youth, in the first semifinal in the first half. Well, quick, Roy, let's delve into it just for a second. What were your thoughts about the show?
Yeah, as a non-Irish person, this was a ride to watch. This host is I mean, I'm pretty sure he's probably good at doing the Late Late Show, but it was painful. It was a painful watch. You know, it was so awkward because you could clearly tell he wasn't fully into it. And then you had this jury panel of 5 people, 2 of them being Jedward and like 3, I don't even remember who they were. And I don't know if it was in their contract or something, but they only said nice things. And I was like, yeah, I mean, if you can't hear that this isn't that good or that it vocally isn't strong, yeah, I don't know. It was just a really weird sensation because also the host was then cutting them off again. And the sound quality of the songs was not that good. It was a really weird show. I do think they had like 3 songs that could have done well at or maybe not well, but it could have been a decent enter Eurovision. And I think they picked one of those 3. So I'm happy with that. It was an odd watch to me, but you know,
was it the one
fun.
that, again, that's Roy's Eurosong? Is that the one you would have picked?
What?
If this was Roy's Eurosong 23 show, Would have picked that one? Who would have been your choice?
I would have picked K Money and ND with Down in the Rain. I think that would be a really cool song to send. And I know it's not a popular genre in Eurovision yet, but it is a very popular genre worldwide. Like I could see that song if it were made by a bigger artist. It would go to the charts, and it would be really cool to have such a song in the running order for Eurovision. And I don't know if it would qualify, but it's a really cool song to send, and it's something different, and it's cool to send, and I really enjoyed it. So it was a good performance too, I thought.
On the night, I was definitely more with, I think where the masses were, with Conley, Midnight Summer Night. In the studio version, actually, I was digging Edgy, Too Good For Your Love, but that one just did not work live, and I knew that was going to happen. But I was told, it can work, it can work, it can work, when it didn't. I'm like, okay. No, I'm a little Team Conley. So the song itself, let's talk about We Are Young. Plenty of thoughts, of course. And I said before, it's not a bad song to me. I think it's a very capable song, and I think they did a really good job live, especially considering the setup for them. They made the best out of it. It's catchy enough. My concern is it's right there in the middle. You know, it's really pretty, very nice, and that often is the death sentence at Eurovision. At the same time, I do think it has redeeming qualities. I think it's a crowd pleaser. Like people sing along to this. You know, it's a very, when I say shouty, not in a bad way, but it's a very sing along material in the crowd. We are young. It's like a very groupies thing. And it has a nice catchy tune to it. At the same time, catchy isn't always enough. So in addition to that, Ireland finds themselves in the less ideal setup in the semis, because it's arguably the more competitive one with a lot of big hitters in the first semi. Therefore, I'm a little bit concerned about that as well. Overall, even though my favorite didn't win, that could have made a worse choice, Ireland. The show overall was not great. I think they just need to fix that in the end. They need to come up with something next year, but again, they'll never learn at this point. Like, and that's one thing, you know, we always pick on Germany, rightfully so, right? Based on the results. At least the one thing you can say about Germany, they're trying different things.
Yeah.
You know, let's do internal. Let's do a really bad national final. Let's switch up the national final and try this. You know, even though it's flopping, you can at least tell, okay, we're trying something different.
The thing with Germany, though, like, I think when the sisters won, I think that system worked, besides that song was added later on.
Yeah.
But then they kind of dropped it immediately again. Like, try it for a bit of a longer period. Like, it won't happen in one night.
1 year, like, it's like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, right? It's it's no. So yeah, I was disappointed about that one. But how did you feel about the song?
Well, firstly, I gotta correct you a little bit, because the song is not called "We Are Young," but "We Are One."
They say "We Are Young."
They only sing it about 70 times a song, so I get that you like confused.
They say "We Are Young." I meant to say "We Are One."
No, "We Are One." Yes, they're singing.
Yeah, no, I know. I didn't realize I said "We Are Young." I meant to say "We Are One." It's just always,
okay.
I know that. I just didn't realize I said "young."
Yeah, you said it about 3 times, but it's okay. It's okay.
I didn't even realize I said that. I knew it.
The bed is Wild Youth. Like, I get where your brain lines we're going. It doesn't matter. Either way, I think it is quite possibly the best song if their aim is to qualify, because they had something that the others didn't have, and I think it's like experience with like working the camera, working the stage a bit. The lead singer was charismatic, the band members were charismatic as well. Like, you can picture some good camera angles here and there, and if you pick something like Connolly in already a very difficult semi-final, and it's like she's a bit nervous because she hasn't been doing this for super long yet, that might not be the best. So I do think that is a very good thing. I also know that they actually put on Twitter, the lead singer, they're gonna open up a chat where fans from all over the world and Ireland can like come together to give suggestions of how they can improve the song, and they will work with a few others. Like, I know the Eurovision podcast, they were invited to work alongside with them, for example, and so they will be working on a little bit of a revamp probably. So that's something to look forward to, perhaps. But it is anthemic, and like, if people get behind it, it is televote only. Like, if everyone in the living room, or at least 2 people, are singing "We Are One," and then like
it's "We Are Young."
Sorry.
Get it right.
Then your grumpy grandpa or something won't be sitting there like, oh, I ain't voting for this. He'll also go, we are one, you know? It's gonna be a fun time.
If the click is there, maybe, right? As of
exactly.
right now,
I wouldn't write it off.
Yeah, so there is that caveat that could be a change, right? But
Yes.
as of right now, Roy,
Mhm.
do you think Ireland has a chance to qualify? And if yes, where would they end up?
I mean, there is a chance. Like, I don't think this is a chanceless song. I do think this is a very difficult semi-final, and looking at what the other countries around it historically send, it will be very difficult. But they could do it. At the moment, I would incline to go to the no section. But, you know, with the revamp and stuff, maybe in the future that will change. But as of right now, I would move to the no side of things.
I agree. And what was I going to say? I remember 2018 Ireland song was not on the radar. It was in a very tough semi. And then there they are going through. So, you know, down country chicken until they hatch. So I think it is certainly possible. I think that would have better odds if they would have sent something a little bit more unique. At the same time, you make a very good case about this maybe a lot more of a televote pleaser than a jury pleaser, since there are no juries in the semis. I think that can only increase Ireland's odds. Let's couple of questions here real quick. Connor John is saying these generic songs about unity and togetherness do worse and worse at Eurovision every year. So of course Ireland would choose this. It's like they don't even want to qualify. I'm trying to think, are there any songs in this day and age that do well that particular theme, or you don't think the theme really matters at all? It's just,
I get what he means, because it's very like by the books. We are one, and like the lyrics kind of write themselves, and it's not the most imaginative song out there. Yeah, I get people. I guess people get a bit more bored of it, but I don't know if it's still going to be like its own little bubble. Like this year's Eurovision will be very different than last year or the year before, and maybe this May all of a sudden we are really craving a song about togetherness, how cringy it may be. Who knows, really? But I get the concern. Like, it was also one of the things I pointed out when I listened to it for the first time. But
yeah. Eurofan SF is saying, is it potentially first ever null points in the semifinal? Song is so similar to the UK 2016 and 19 generic soloist anthems. I hear what you're saying. I understand the comparison. To me personally, I can only speak based on my personal vibe of it, right? I think this has more redeeming qualities. I do think that the chorus is a lot more catchier and a pleasant melody. I think people may gravitate towards this melody a whole lot more than because I had big issues with 2016 and 19 in the UK. Really didn't like the songs. They were like 2019 was probably my least favorite song that year, the UK. And the UK 2016 not far off as either. This one I actually don't dislike. I find a lot of redeeming quality. It's a lot more pleasant melody. But that is just me. So it's very difficult how people feel about it. How about you, Roy?
Yeah, and you got to remember, it's an audiovisual competition. It's not only about the song. And like I said, I thought they were very charismatic. He is a very good performer, I think. And with a good staging, good camera angles, him looking into the camera, that can resonate with people. Like, I don't think this is going to get 0 points. I don't think there is a single chance that this will get 0 points.
Yes. Then one more question. Jelly S is saying That's Rich from last year, the song, had less potential at Eurovision than this song. Do you think this one has more potential than That's Rich?
I mean, for me, it's easy because I wasn't that big of a fan of That's Rich. But yeah, I think this has a chance even in a tough semifinal. And That's Rich was already in the easier semifinal, if I were to say that. And it still didn't really work. So I don't know. I think this has more potential than That's Rich, definitely.
I'm the same boat. I never thought That's Rich. I remember doing my ranking last year, and I think that Rich was only like 5th place, maybe in the in the Irish national final, right? So it was already pretty far down in that list in Ireland in the national final that I thought was weak to begin with. So when it won, I was like, it's past me. So to me personally, again, that's personal taste. I think that just this one has a little bit more potential because it's a little bit less, even though it may be heard it all before kind of thing, it is to me less grating to the ear. So I think that is certainly my opinion. And again, we'll talk about a few things we can elaborate a little more, but we have a few more topics to discuss. Roy, I know you didn't get to catch the show, so I'll maybe do more of the talking. But besides these 3 songs, we also had a bunch of semis. Let's talk Sweden first. Melodifestivalen, always the big thing. We had 7 songs in the running. 2 of them moved on to the grand final. The other 2 went to the second chance round, or they're called. Let me rephrase it. They're now calling these the heats. And then the songs that came in 3rd and 4th going now to the semifinal with, I know, thank you for shaking your head. And then 3 are eliminated completely. Before we go over this, let's take a look at the songs that were in the running real quick. Okay, so Roy's gone. That's okay. You didn't want to get spoiled, I guess.
Yes.
So then I will do some of the talking here right now, since you didn't watch any of the clips. As a reminder, the top 2 songs went through. They had a first round of voting where the favorite song of the 7 would go through first, and that one was ultimately, we had a lot of familiar faces in the running, and including the first qualifier, Jon Henrik Fjällgren. Along with Arc North featuring Adam Woods, Where You Are. And then we had the second round of voting for the remaining 6 entries. And then each age category would provide their points. And then ultimately we'd have a winner. Each category of the age groups voted Tony Sekelius' Rhythm of My Show as a number 1. Therefore, Tony Sekelius is the second qualifier of the evening, directly going to the grand final. That means that 2 songs moving on to the actual semifinal. Victor Krone with Diamonds and Elif and Benny Ragan Gar, meaning Rehan, Lulu Lamad, and Ewa are out, unfortunately, but that's just kind of how it goes. Roy, you haven't listened to any of the clips, right?
Not fully true. I have listened to the ones that got eliminated. I will not listen to the ones that go to semi-final, Andra Chansen. And I don't listen to the ones to the final either, because I want to do the videos on my own channel. And I want to do a first opinion. I always think it's really stupid when people already listen to the songs and then pretend like they haven't. You know, I want to make it very true and honest. So yeah, I haven't listened to the first 4 songs, so you'll have
3 songs. So out of the 3 songs, was there anything that stood out to you? The 3 songs that
look, there are definitely songs that people could see as their own personal favorite, but I don't think we really miss anything in the final. Like, I don't think any of them were really quality songs for Eurovision. The ballad was the guy was a bit too, I don't know, too uneventful, I think. I think Lulu, the vocals didn't sound as good as I had hoped it to be, and it wasn't just the best thing anyway. And like Eva and Eva were kind of more the comic relief kind of thing. The older act that get their time to shine again after Reina Rama Ding Dong. That's really cool, of course. So I get why they were eliminated.
Yeah. So so I will share my thoughts. So let's talk about real quick the qualifies Jon Henrik Fjällgren, and everyone, since Roy is a little clueless here, which is fine, I would love to hear your thoughts at ESC Night in the chat. And while you're typing it, I did a video just reacting to clips because you don't get the whole songs real quick, some first impression thing. And I had that one as a potential favorite, and I enjoyed the performance because Jon Hendrik, I just really enjoy his style. It's just such a unique thing, and I would love to see that in Sweden. What they tried to do, he was more than creating this collaboration with the more pop chart friendly sound, maybe increasing the odds with lots of English lyrics. He's not singing in English, but the lead singer. To me, it lost the magic live. It was too busy. It was the other guy from the lead singer didn't sound great to me, and it was just not the magic I was looking for in that song. The only part I liked was Jon Hendricks when he did his part, so I was just like, that's nice, but all the rest was more of a distraction. But clearly it has the most modern and Swedish friendly sound, so therefore it went through. Tone Sekelius was probably the one that had the most slick performance to me, so I'm glad that she went through. My personal favorite, surprisingly, at the night, and I know you haven't seen it yet, some cover years, but I think you will actually like it as well, Roy, is Elof and Benny Ragengar. That song is just turbo schlager from Sweden, but it was the most fun to me, and I think Roy will agree with that as well when he watches those clips. But I could be wrong, but just knowing what I know about him, he will as well.
We'll find out.
Huh? We'll find out. Yes. So ultimately, I will say from the clips I've watched to when I watched the performances, I was slightly underwhelmed with it, and but overall, I think the winning song is yet to come from Melodifestivalen. Now, everyone talks about Lorraine, got again the pimp slot in the fourth semi going last. They tried that in 20. What year? What did she come back? 16, 17? I don't remember. No, not 16. One of the years with statements, and then
17.
17, right? Yeah. That didn't work, so maybe this time. Let's see some of the comments. Did you notice some mixing and sound issues during the performances? Maybe that's what it was, Antonio. Especially for Jon Hendrik, I could not listen to this one and be like, oh, that's enjoyable. It was just uncomfortable to me and noisy. Maybe it sounds better when they fix that, but yeah, I certainly felt that Lulu was vocally off a lot. Not sure if it was just her or something with the mixing, but she sounded she was just screeching at the end. I think she was trying too hard, and then it just did not work, unfortunately. I miss the mamas. And that's the thing with Melodifestivalen, and clearly they're so strict and so controlling over what kind of music goes in there, and you have to have this kind of song in second place in its position, in the song. So clearly it was not the right song for the right singer, and that kind of annoyed me as well. It surprised me that Tony qualified for the finals, actually. Really? The song is just so predictable and the melody just doesn't work. My way is much better, but a weak semi anyway. Jelly, I think you answered your own question in that statement, in my opinion. The song is so predictable. Often predictable songs make it easily through the semis, and you can even make the case sometimes through the finals in Sweden. So I think it's the comfortable predictableness of the song that was its strength, and that's how I feel about the song. Is it the most amazing, unique written piece that I've ever heard? No, it's standard pop. What you can replace with other music, but people like that kind of music, and therefore oh yeah, the competition just wasn't strong enough for that reason as well. So that's why it qualified. When will the songs for the other heats be released? So I think Thursday is when the snippets are released, the 30-second snippets. And then on Friday, they're going to do 1-minute clips of the rehearsals. And that's it. And then Saturday, you have the show. So you have to wait until Thursday to get the first taste of the second heat. And then the same rinse and repeat the third and the fourth week. So you have a few days to kill. Tone is a semi-celebrity, and Ragengar is a specific part of the Swedish culture. So it is a bit predictable as a Swede. I knew, I think 80% of us went into this heat predicting Tone and Jon Hendrik to go through. It was very predictable. Sometimes you get this random song, that really brings it up. But here it didn't happen because there was just no true composition. Linnea says Victor should have gone directly to the finals, which is of hit previously entries. Do you like most Storm, Troubled Waters, or Diamonds? Oh, Linnea, I love you. I love you very much. But that song made me just leave the room. I just thought it was so boring. It's something about Victor Krone's music. It's just so safe, boring, radio-friendly pop that I cannot connect with it. Troubled Waters was also one of my least favorites that year when he, not least favorites, a little harsh, but certainly not for me. I just don't, and the problem I have with him, like, he doesn't sing, right? He hides behind the backtrack, and it really turns me off as well. I had a soft spot for Storm a little bit. There was some catchiness to it. So if I had to pick one of those three, I would pick Storm for sure. But yeah, I did not get, I was like, this may be the first time that Victor may not qualify at all. They be eliminated, and he almost, not almost, but then he came in third. And I was like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Victor sounded very nasally. It's uncomfortable to listen to. I think that's what it is for me, Collins. I think it's just the sound just doesn't right. Did you like Victor Krone's music? And it's nothing against him as the artist. Clearly he makes good music. It's just I'm the wrong audience. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, I think the same. Like Storm, I didn't really see it qualifying. I get it because it was, there is an audience. It's quite got some broad appeal and stuff, but he wasn't necessarily the thing that leveled that song up to the next level. And I wasn't the biggest fan of Troubled Waters. Like the thing with those two songs is I don't hate them, but there kind of lies the issue because I don't love them either. It's just like kind of, it exists. I can live without it. It's fine. So no, he usually isn't my cup of tea either.
Yeah, I don't think you will like the song, but again, I could be wrong. Just think Victor Krone music, and then you get that. So it's not like a departure from his usual music. Question: is Sweden second in the odds just because of the reputation Sweden has with Melfest, or is Loreen coming back to Melfest also a factor? Sweden is always pre-Eurovision at the top of the betting odds based on reputation. Yeah. If Loreen wasn't there, they'd probably still be second. I don't see a difference.
Perhaps not second, but it like Loreen being there definitely boosted the odds, because odds at the end of the day is just some people putting money on a country to win. And like if more people do it, then the bookies will adjust the odds in such a way that they can pay out less so that you can return less when new people bet on the song. Yeah. So it's just like people put money on Sweden to win, probably because it's Sweden, it's a safe bet. And early on, you get quite a lot of return from your money that you put into it. And when Loreen got announced, that definitely got boosted. It's also why Ukraine is probably on number one. Like there's people who think Ukraine
is going to win
is
again,
likely to win.
War.
Like and there's people who think that will be the narrative. While it might not be the actual narrative, people will think of it because, they get return for their money at that point.
Yep. And I'm not a betting odds man at all, right? I don't waste my money like that. Or like, I shouldn't say waste, people like it. I just don't like that risk. If I would do it at this point, especially if you're not an expert, I would put my money on Ukraine and Sweden on paper. You know what I mean? Like Sweden always sends very popular music, so why would I not put my money on it? The odds are bigger than like Moldova. And then Ukraine, as you mentioned, it is still the political situation, the war that's going on there, that, that people believe they're still going to have that sympathy vote that gets them over the line. Certainly not as big as it was a year ago, but that's the reason why people put money down, not because they think that Tvorchi has the best song. It is just how the betting odds work, and that's all going to change once we have all the songs. And then
100%. Yeah, like these are only early odds, and with early odds you get more return for your money because you know less, and like the more knowledge you have, the less you get return for your money. Because if you kind of know that this song will win, for example, with Spain, like you knew it would be between Blanca Paloma and Agony. Yeah. So it only makes sense that you get less return after the semifinals than before that, because you know more at that point. So yeah, these are very early odds. I wouldn't look much into them. Like even when countries are dropping, it are odds to win. Like look at a song. Do you think it can win? Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't mean that you're going to get 36th if you're 36th in the odds right now. It's just you're the 36th least likely to win.
And there are other betting odds. There's like top 10 betting odds, qualification betting odds. This is the one that we're talking about is only the winner. Like if you think this song is a clear third place, you're not going to put money down for it to win. So that's kind of how it works. And there are also different stages to me. The betting odds go throughout the year. It's that we don't know any songs that just put down based on Sweden and Ukraine. Then we have all of the songs. People can get a gauge a little bit. Okay, this one could do well. I'm going to, and then rehearsals, right? That's when things go up and down a lot. So, and then of course the live shows and all that, whatever. So it goes through these stages. So we're still in the very early stage of the betting odds.
And with this early stage, like, just give you example, if you put one money, wow.
One money?
If you put €1 on, for example, Sweden at the beginning of everything without knowing anything at all, you probably get like 12 times your money back if they do end up winning. So if you do that every single year and one of those 12 years they win, you break even. It's as simple as that sometimes. Like, betting odds are sometimes really kind of stupid, and people just want to have tiny profits to like make a living out of it or whatever.
It's almost like a stock, son. Like, you think like this company is going to go up, you know, even though their stock is really cheap, I'm going to put it down. I believe they're going to really blow up because they got this really good contract or whatever, and people put all that money down and thinking it goes up or down. So it's a similar concept. From that perspective, that's how you have to approach like you're thinking. It's not really always a fair indicator. People can be wrong because, let me butcher that username, Smoltron Poike said, I think bookies who count on sympathy votes should look at how Ukraine did in junior this year. And I think that is a very good point. A lot of the people, especially the early ones, they just put money down based on first impression or not being an expert. So they have like, I don't know, 10,000 money and they put it in under Ukraine. Get it? Money. You said money. So, and it's just, you know, but it means nothing, maybe, you know, to them. They just think like it's Ukraine. They're probably going to win and they can take it out. Maybe. I don't know what they're going to do.
Most of these people, when they put money on there, like the big dogs, basically, they will not have heard a single song. They only go off of sources, what they're telling them to do, and like information, because you want at least emotional involvement in the songs and the involvement in your betting. You just want your money back. So you need like the most statistics, the most analysis you can have. So it's very, it's a weird world. It's a deep dive.
Jacasa is asking, did you like Melfest as a show yesterday, not the songs, just a show? And I'm going to combine that question with another one that I just saw earlier. Forgive me if I don't have your name right now. I only watched the clips of the songs because then I went to another another show. So I did not see any of the show except for the songs. And then as the results came in, so I just had to mute and didn't pay attention until the results came in and the songs. And that's all I see. So I cannot comment on the show. And that's why somebody asked, did you listen to Cornelia? She didn't sound good or something. I did not listen to her. Because again, I was probably doing Norway or some other national final at that point. I don't remember the order right now. So I did not see anything but the songs and the results. So, and the songs, to me, I like the snippets on live. They use really good ones, but then the show itself was a little bit of a letdown, unfortunately. And I'm a little bit more of a, I wouldn't call proponent because, you know, Melodifestivalen, because it is that bar so high, people get often very like nitpicky about Sweden. I still love Melodifestivalen, of course. It's such like the pooba of national finals. So I don't want to be too picky, but yeah, I think this one was an underwhelming group. That's why I'm thinking the winner is yet to come. And I'm sad because I really wanted Jan Hendrik to win this time around. We don't have the Cornelia kind of vibe in this one like we had last year in the first semi. She wasn't the first semi, right? Yeah. So I am not getting that from here. Let's don't spend too much time on the next topic because we already talked about it at length in previous ones and not much has changed. But we also had a semi-final in Lithuania. And in Lithuania, we've had these songs. Okay, just a quick recap in case you're not paying attention.
I want
So there you have it, the 10 songs in the running order of last night. Out of those 10, you're smiling, Roy. Don't distract me like that. Like I did something wrong. So the 10
No.
songs,
I was vibing.
you were vibing. Okay. Out of the 10 songs, 5 moved on to the grand final. We previously had the heats. Now we're down to the semifinals. Decided by a jury. Have the votes from the jury. Have the votes from the televote. And then they had a combined. We're going to talk about the qualifiers just real quick. I did not watch the show because the songs were basically the same as in the heats, and I was going to focus on this one, so I cannot comment on the show. Did you watch it at all, Roy? The actual show?
No, but I did watch all of the I mean, I watched the qualifiers back basically.
Yeah.
Because I know all of them from the heats basically because I
Me
did
too.
videos on those. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about last night's show, the songs overall?
Actually, something interesting happened.
What?
Because in the first heat, we saw that Rutamur with Solo won both the juries and the televote. And this time around, neither was the case. Not the jury and not the televote. Because the televote was won by Sparnai from Il Senso. Which was in the same heat actually as Rutamur when they won the first heat.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of interesting because I was thinking it's gonna be Rutamur versus Beatrice in the other heat. They're gonna clash in the grand final. It's either gonna be one of those two who will win. But it seems like the televote really got on board with the opera song, and the juries really got on board with the ballad from Petunia. And Petunia actually listened to what the juries had to say in the first heat, because they get feedback after they all perform and they say like, oh, you could maybe do this a bit differently and this a bit differently. The staging was much better. She still sounded incredibly live, but now it all made sense. It was a bit darker. It was a bit better lighting. The piano was smaller this time around. There were 2 people standing next to her. She was alone on the stage in the first heat. So like she made a lot of adjustments and the juries appreciated that. So she won that jury vote. So it's a bit more of an open race, I guess. I mean, we still need to see semifinal 2 next week, but it's gonna be cool.
Rita, as you pointed out, Rutamur didn't win neither the jury or the televote, but came second in both and still combined, still ended up as the winner. So a 2-part question, and I know I hate telling you that, but let's try to keep it short because we're running over time. Do you think it's still a contender to win? Number 2, how do you feel about the semi-winner?
I think the winner from Lithuania is coming from semi 2. I think Beatrice has the better song. She's more stage charisma, and Rutamur would struggle probably in Eurovision a bit more. While it is quite a fun listen, I think even Petunia's ballad from this heat is maybe a bit better to send to Eurovision as well. I get that it won this heat at least. But I don't get the same hype as we got last year or anything. But you know, with Lithuania, you always got to sift through a lot of songs to find that 1 or 2 gems that are there.
It's very random. It's a very random national final. Who was your favorite in this semi? Or favorites? Do you have like 1 or 2?
I think after seeing last night's performance, I think beforehand it was going to be Rutamur, but afterwards it was definitely Petunia with what was her song again?
Love of My Life.
Love of My Life. It is a bit too small, a bit too cringy lyrically, but you know, she's got a really, really interesting voice. I quite enjoy that. So I think that's my favorite from this semi.
Yeah, I will agree with you. This is my favorite as well. It's a little bit more on the schmaltzy, ballady, predictable side, but she sang it so well. It's a sweet melody, and I think it's melodically for me the strongest effort. I also agree with the televote. My second one was Il Senso. I know that's a polarizing entry. I don't think it's the right choice for Eurovision. I don't think that would do well at all. So I think they should stay away from that one. But I do have a soft spot for it. In the end, Lithuania should send what they're excited about. So I'm not telling you not to say what you shouldn't send, but I think that would be more of a struggle, I think, at Eurovision. I'm not saying Petunia has a great chance, but I think that was just the nicest melody. I don't get Solo. I'm like, that's a favorite? That one was to me like, nope. No, I like Donata better. That didn't do well. So I hear people saying the second semi is the stronger ones. Without giving me too many names, Roy, do you agree with that? I don't remember them, so I have to refresh my memory. I'm not going to watch until next week.
I need to check it out as well, to be honest. I know my favorite is in there. Yeah, there's definitely a few bigger names that are a bit more exciting. Yeah, I would definitely say the second semi is a bit stronger.
Okay.
But like it's gonna be a lot of songs that aren't on a good enough quality anyways that we'll get rid of, and then we have 5 to 10 will be okay to good.
Any questions, by the way, about Lithuania in the chat at ESC United? The one thing I want to say real quick, Roy, because you know how we talked earlier about Spain and how Spain, you know, and the results of the semi, like, you know, became too predictable and we know what's going to happen. Lithuania, it doesn't matter almost. You know what I mean? Like whatever happened in the heats and semis, pretend that never happened because their votes often seem like upside down the televote, the jury vote sometimes, right? When it's
yeah, but what I love about Lithuania is that they're even more transparent and give us like actual numbers. Like we know exactly how many people voted for a song in a televote, and I really like it. Like as a stats nerd, I love it. Like that's why I always love.
I'm a stats nerd myself. I graduated. You know, my final exam was on statistics, so I'm with you on that one. I still think I prefer. We can still get the transparency after the fact. You know what I mean? You know, but I don't blame you for liking and seeing it. To me, oftentimes it's just like that impact of how people could be impacted how they vote. But I do like as many information as possible, and that's why Jelly, you pointed out in the chat, we do know that El Censo won the televote by pretty decent margin because they got 1,876 votes, which sounds like such a low number for a national final, right? Votes probably also very expensive to vote there, versus So Low got 1,440 votes. So
for Papa Nomi's Naujo kind of standards, it's quite good.
Is it?
Like, those numbers are quite nice.
But like when you look at the big picture, I know that it's not the biggest country, but they have a few million people there. You know, you would think there would be a few more votes, but I know it's just a different animal. But your vote really could matter here. You know, your vote could make a difference.
Most certainly.
I know.
It's also interesting that like in the first heat, like of course in the heats, not as many people will care about it. But like Il Censo only had 400 people voting, and now they had 1,800. Like that's quite a big step.
Yeah.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. We'll find out more for the second semifinal next week. We got another clip here for you, but this is now for a different country called Latvia. They've had their first semifinal yesterday. Interesting enough, I'm completely out of the loop when it comes to Latvia so far, because I do know they had 14 songs running, and I did not see the show yesterday. There were 4 because I felt it's almost like a waste of time, because not because songs, but they have 14 songs and 10 move on. So 4 songs will be eliminated. I'm like, that seems like a lot of songs that'll go through. So I am going to play the recap right here, right now. And I don't know what to expect here. I have no idea. So this will be my reaction, live reaction to you, without you seeing my face, of course. But I'll tell you exactly which one stood out to me. And Roy, then I'd love to hear your thoughts as well.
Okay.
All right, here we go. See you on the other side.
Somebody else, nothing's gonna change us. Taking out a step our own ways. Ooh la la like I wanna, ooh la la like I wanna. Dream of this, I'm unafraid to wait to the edge out. Ooh la la, like
Oh, it's over. So that was awkward. Yeah, I guess it just sums. Okay, so I will say. Now keep in mind, these are just the clips. These are just the clips, right? So I will not judge just it completely. I was thinking, oh well, the semi started off pretty good, and then the last few songs, I'm like, no. I was quite bored actually. So there are a couple of songs that stood out to me.
Okay.
So before
Which
we
were they?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
So the 4 songs that are out, I mean, Inspo, Katrine Miller, Adriana Miklani, and Jus, the guy who represented Latvia in 2016, the last time the country actually qualified, and he doesn't even make this semi-final cut. Was that a surprise, Roy?
Oh, it was a surprise. Like, I didn't expect it to not go through, but I mean, that song was not good. Like, if you come back with a song while you already went to Eurovision with quite a good song and qualified with it, coming back with this one might not be the best idea. So I get it, because like he might also be the big name and therefore like get all of the votes in the grand final. So it's kind of a good thing that he's not going with this song. But it's just unfortunate he comes back with a song like this. Like, he can do better. We all know it.
I don't assume Aminata wrote this one, huh?
No, he wrote it himself, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we do know that Markus Riva, who has been part of this national final, like, what, 18 times now? I don't know what number we're at. Many, many times. I admire his persistency, because I don't make fun of someone because we laugh at him, like keep trying and trying. I'm like, no, if you really want to represent it, go for it. If you have the right song, now you just keep working and eventually find the song. His song sounded to me like some of the other ones that he sent. I cannot say that this really stood out to me in any shape or form. I don't know if at some point just give him a sympathy vote and like, just go, just do Eurovision. But I'll tell you, the ones that stood out to me were the first few songs. I think my favorite was Love Vibes. It's the only one that has a catchy, more fun melody.
Okay.
That one, I want to hear the whole thing. That one, I think, out of all the songs, was my favorite. I did enjoy, I was vibing with When It All Falls by Tom's Caldera Cuscus. He gave me a little bit more of a too chill vibe about where are you? Remember that one? Carousel.
Yeah.
I like that kind of music. I like that one, but it's not a very competitive entry. You know what I mean? It's more of a chill entry, and that's the problem. I got the similar vibes here, so it may not be the best choice. I did like Tricky. It was a little bit more pop song. It's just not the most catchy melody. So I don't know if that was the right choice. So if I have to go with one, it would be Love Vibes by Artur's Hati, the very first one. That was quite catchy. Latvian is saying Sudden Lights won the televote in semi with 21%, while the second place Marcus with 12 points and Hush 7% with 5th place. Sudden Lights was
one of the last ones. No, the second last one, if I remember correctly.
Oh, it's the last one according to the running order.
Oh, it was the last one, yeah.
I don't remember that one. Like the last 3 songs just like blended to me. I didn't get much. Which one were you standing out to you, Roy?
Well, firstly, my favorite got eliminated.
Which one was that?
Oh, it was Sway. Like, I know live vocally she isn't the best, but man, have I been listening to that song. It's really cool. Like, I really love the contrast of her voice in the studio cut and then like some powerful metal chords and just like go all out there. And last year this song was a bit better and a bit easier for her to sing as well. But I mean, eliminated? That's a bit harsh. Like 4 songs get eliminated and these 10 go to the final, and then that is one of them. There were definitely some worse songs, but either way, it is what it is. From the ones that are still left over, my number 1 pick would be Fake Love from Raum. I think that could resonate with a lot of teenage people who might vote for it and like be like, all right, it's kind of cool. He performed it better than he did last year with his song, so I think that could be cool. I quite like Southern Lights as well. It's got a very complicated beat, which I always love. But I'm not sure if that will work necessarily the best. I think Hush is a decent option too. And I also quite like that first song that you were talking about from Artur's Hati, Love Vibes.
Love Vibes.
I couldn't come up with the name there. Yeah. those are kind of my standout ones.
And to be fair, I only listen to the clips right now, right? So I don't have a full idea. I'm going to do that later today to get a better idea of all songs. And maybe at the end I was just getting bored. I was like, oh, I can't even. I will say that I'm not saying that my taste is the one to go with. The only thing I can tell you is when I say don't pick that song, I was right the last 5 years. And that's my concern here. There are a few songs that I hear, don't pick them. And from what I'm hearing in the chat, people are saying those are the favorites. And I'm getting like Eat Your Salad vibes where people thought this is going to do really well. I'm like, I could scream like from 10 miles away, this is not going to go anywhere. And I'm worried based on what I've seen so far, those songs fall in the same category. Now, listen to the whole song. Latvia needs to come up with a song. What they're good at is stand out. They're not necessarily good at, or like they've done maybe years and years ago. Usually they're really good at experimental sounds. Aminata, use, that kind of stuff. Even like in previous years, that's where they really can stand out. And that's what they need to focus on. I feel there's a little bit too much ordinary vibes here. And that is my concern. And Latvia is in that groove right now where they just want to send that kind of stuff. And ultimately that's their decision. I don't see them being discouraged yet. I just really want them to qualify. And on top of that, Roy, Latvia's in the top semi. They're in the first semi right now. So based on what I'm hearing, I'm getting a little nervous here. Is there like a song? And again, I stay deliberately away from social media when it comes to Latvia odds and fan polls. Is there a song that people are really hyped about? Or is it
all I've seen is Southern Lights, which was quite surprising because it doesn't sound like the type of song that people would usually go for, and I don't think it would do well at Eurovision either. And Hush is the other one because it is like kind of poppy, but it's just a bit dated to me. Like it's kind of something you could have sent in 2015 Eurovision. Like then it could have done decently. I think now it's kind of had its like best by date. I just don't understand that there is no more hype for Fake Love. Like, yes, the lyrics are a bit cringy, but I think it is the most modern out there and it stands out the most if you put it in a different lineup, perhaps. So
yeah,
I wish that was talked about more, but it's really those two that I've been seeing. And yeah.
Yeah, I will listen to them again. I was not really like, but Latvia and I, when it comes to the favorites, we hardly ever agree. I think there's no other country more disconnected or disjointed when it comes to my taste and what they'll ultimately pick. I don't think Latvia's once picked my favorite since 2015.
Really?
Yeah. So it is very, very strange. So, but we shall see. And again, this is just right now based on snippets, and I will listen to them in full after that. I think people, again, as always in the chat, at ESC United so I can see them. Eurofan polls have Hush at number 1 with 25%. I remember.
Yeah, it makes sense that one is the highest because it's like the most poppy and like it is a type of song you could see at Eurovision, but like I said, just like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, okay. Arctic Monkeys plus Latvian taste plus Latvian language like Southern Lights.
I don't hear it that well. Like
you don't hear it? Yeah, no. It's just on my music. It's just on my music. But again, it's Latvia's decision, not mine. We'll find out next week, right? They have the final next week, I think. Or did they have a couple of weeks off in between? I don't even remember. We'll go through next week's results shows in just a little bit. Before we move on to more like the open Q&As, just one more thing, because we had one additional song released in Germany. As you know, they have a national final. They have already had a bunch of songs released, but there was one additional entry that was a wild card selected like through a TikTok voting thing. And ultimately, they've had a winner called Icke Hüftgold mit Lied mit gutem Text. Roy, you speak a little German, right?
Yeah.
So you knew what that meant, Lied mit gutem Text? Because I saw the winner. A winner says Icke Hüftgold, Lied mit gutem Text, which means song with good lyrics. And I thought it was a review, a critic of the song, right? I'm like, okay, but yeah I get it. But what's the name of the song?
I thought exactly the same thing. And I was like, yeah. What's the song title then?
Like, what's the name of the song?
Is he gonna get a different song because he's the wild card winner? Like, is he now gonna craft a song or something? But
yes.
No.
The cool thing is you have some German celebrities right here in front of you, because both Roy and I were on the show yesterday when they revealed for 2 seconds, so it wasn't a big deal. But when they showed some of the reactions, so it's just like a 40-second clip. So I'm just going to play that real quick.
Yes.
Germany, welcome back. This selection is so diverse and so strong. You are really showing the different music genres and the different talents that you have in Germany, and I'm so impressed this year.
I'm actually happy with the selection that Germany has given us. Yes, so happy with it.
Germany, you are impressing me a bit. Like, if you look at where they came from last year, where everything was of such poor quality, all these songs so far have been solid.
Got a little bit of goosebumps here. This is... Oh, wow, Germany!
When we said do better, I didn't think it would be to this level better, but it is.
Get the camera, Mom.
Okay, call my agent. No, so keep in mind, those were our reactions from the original lineup. Let me just give you another, before we talk this through, recap of all the songs, including Lied mit einem Text, to give you a quick idea, and then we'll talk this through. Oops. So those were the songs in the running. The last one that you heard was added last minute by the TikTok wildcard Icke Hüftgold mit Lied und Lied mit einem guten Text. So before we talk about the songs, and let's just, Roy, both of us, we spoiled already in our little clip from the show. It's a improvement from prior years, huh? The selection.
I mean, the bar was in the ocean, but they cleared it. Yeah. Like, I think it's very funny because they like took a clip from like the third or so song that I reacted to. So it's a bit like after that, more of the lesser good songs came. But yeah, I think overall there is more songs that could work. Like last year, it was really 2 songs that could made kind of work.
That's even,
but you kind of knew they would be doomed either way. And I think these definitely, there are a few that could do less bad, or less bad, not as bad as last place, basically. I don't think any of them are Eurovision winners, but there is some workable material here, and overall quality has risen. So maybe next year they'll take another step up, and that's the process, you know. Stick to this thing, make it better, evolve, and maybe eventually you'll have an amazing song again.
Yeah, I think it's actually a pretty good selection. I think there are a lot of songs that I actually really enjoy. Winning, okay, yeah, you have a case. There probably may not be a winning entry, but I think there could be songs that could go really big in the televote in particular. And what's very interesting to me, what I appreciate more than most things. This is probably one of the most diverse lineup I've seen in
Yes.
Germany for a while, and that is a round of applause to me. It's the harder sound. They're the beautiful ballads. Granted, I wanted to have more German, but even then, now with the Wildcard, we have at least 2 songs in German. Ballads, pop. It's just really good mix of music, and I think they are certainly on the right track. And there's the reason why, even though there is technically like a favorite out there, it is not like a landslide favorite. I saw it in the chat already. People had different favorites there for a reason, because it's very diverse and taste for everyone there. Roy, what was your thinking when the last song "Lied mit einem guten Text" was added? Were you shocked? Were you like, oh my god? Or were you? It's I think it's fair to say it's a polarizing, controversial edition. It won though by 52% of the vote out of like what, 6 or 7 songs. So it won by a landslide.
Look, it is a type of song that is very partyable.
It's called Ballermann music. It's like, you know,
people will dance to this, and at least the beat is well produced. Like, the beat itself is actually quite nice. Just the text is so cringy, and it's such a jokey song. It's like, I just wish it wasn't that jokey. Like, there is something to work with. The beat itself is quite cool. It's just not my taste, really.
Well, that's probably the thing is, this music is called Ballermann music in Germany. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. Like, people in Germany go to Spain a lot, like Mallorca, the island, and then they listen to this kind of music. Like, it has been so popular for the longest time. It's like trashy music in some ways that you know, drunk dudes listen to, and then you know, so it's that kind of material. And so seeing that at Eurovision in the running is in some way refreshing, because it is truly what Germans, not Germans, this is a very general statement, but a group within German like music like listen to. So I don't think it's a bad idea to have that in the running. It is for that reason kind of cool. At the same time, this is not great music. The song, let's be real here, was insanely catchy. Like, I think it's a trashy song. It's like, oh my god, this cannot win. It will not win. The juries will crash and burn this one. But after I did my reaction video yesterday, I was cleaning the house and I was I've been singing it all night long. That is powerful. Now, just being catchy is not good enough. You can have really shitty songs with just a catchy melody, like la 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 la, right? So I'm not, this makes it a good song, but I will not deny that I kept singing it all the time. So as Jelly pointed out, I like the song for the wrong reasons. It's a song that you would hear at a party in the Netherlands, actually. I don't even know if I like it per se, but I can see why this could stick with the televote. I will say I would not be shocked. I'm not saying it will. I would not be shocked if it wins the televote in Germany. I don't think it'll win the national final. I don't think there's no way, Jose, that the juries will allow this, but there is the potential of this one going at least top 3, top 2 kind of thing in the televote. Go ahead, Roy. You're going to say something? You said like, yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, I thought it looked like you were going to say something. So I'm curious how people feel in the chat about that. But putting that one addition aside, it's Roy's German national final again. What are you choosing? What are you saying?
Look, if you watch my initial video, I put Misfit as my favorite to take it, because it's just nice, rocky, quite fun, but it's just, it didn't stick afterwards. And I'm gonna maybe throw a bit of a curveball here, and wait, I need to refresh the page because I forgot the name of the song. Come on, work.
Drums.
It's such a bad build of this.
Oh dear.
Work with me, laptop.
Okay. Well, let me talk then while you're looking that up. I actually agree with you on Misfit. It is that kind of music that I grew up with. You know, like it's like, hey y'all, you're an all-star, get the show on.
Exactly.
Hey, and I love that kind of music. And that is just like such a retro, like child teenagehood retro for me. And I just have such a soft spot for it. I cannot get over it, but I understand it's also probably not the best choice. Did you find your song?
Yes, I think my pick at the moment, maybe controversially, would be Alle Frauen in mir sind müde.
The German one.
Yes, I don't know. It's just it's. I think it helped that the music video came out and you saw more of a creative direction that the singer wanted to take, and it was a bit more artsy, and I thought it was quite cool. And it would be really cool if they sent German to Eurovision again. And yes, it is a bit of a slower song, but I don't know, I just quite like it. I think Blood and Glitter, it's also a really cool song that you could send, but it's just a bit too trolly again. Like I think Germany, after we've had Don't Send Hate or whatever that song was, and last year, was also not the best result. I don't think they should send a jokey kind of song to really improve their chances. So I don't think that would be my pick, but I mean, I enjoy Blood and Glitter, but I would pick the German song, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't think, Blood and Glitter is probably my favorite, along with Misfit. I'm kind of like between those, but I usually tend to gravitate towards harder sounds that are well executed, like, because they have a nice melody. So that's why those two stand. I mean, it's not that hard. It's like punk rock or maybe Lonely Spring, but I love Blood and Glitter. I understand. I don't know if it's like a jokey song. It is really just more of a, because it's not like meant to be laughed at per se. Like, I don't feel it's just, I understand it's a little bit more campy. I think, if anything,
that's the word.
Yeah. So that I understand. It would also be a more, I can see the thing of Blood and Glitter is probably going to flop in the juries, but it has the potential to go quite big in the televote. So the question is, do you want to take that risk? Because it could also flop in the televote if it doesn't come across. Or you send something that's a little bit more, like balances it, because Alle Frauen sind in mir müde. The lyrics are amazing on that song, but you need to be able to speak German. Could she pull a Salvador Sobral, where it's just like, the feel of the song can be delivered in a live performance, something like that? That what it would come down to. And I don't know if this song is melodically strong enough for that to really pull it off, but I hear what you're saying. I think it's a really good song. So I just don't know if that is the best chance. So Jelly is saying, I think Renee and Will Church have the best chance to win. Do you agree with that? Will Church's Hold On and the other one, Renee Miller, Concrete Heart? They're more like,
they're kind of the middle
how
road.
about huh?
I think they're more of the middle road, that like it's a solid entry basically, but I don't think that that's what Germany necessarily needs at the moment, because like last year the song itself wasn't necessarily bad, it just didn't really excite anyone. So yeah, I don't know, I think it's more the Renee song that is probably the better of the two of them for me. I don't know, like, talking about it, I think Germany definitely has some options.
Yeah, Sveric, you see, makes a good point. We know what happens when a wild card is included in the German national final, and I don't want history repeating itself. You're referring to 2014 and 15, but there are, well, in 2019, technically, it wasn't really a wild card per se, but it was added last minute. That is true. So in 2014, Elisa, in 2015, Anne-Sophie, but she only won. She was a wild card added as well, but she won because the actual winner withdrew during the live show. It was such a weird thing. You remember that? Did you watch that national final at all?
No, I wasn't. I was not that into Eurovision
at that point. It was really weird. No. Andreas Kümmert, he was like, Andreas, you won. He's like, yay. So I am not going to do this. I'm going to give it to her. It was so weird. So then she won, and then 2019, you can make the case for Sister, even though they were part of the lineup, but they're just, So it is true. However, I just do not see the jury. I do not see, it sounded like I said Nazi. I do not see Ike have even the slightest shot at a jury support. And the difference is Germany also doing for the first time an international jury. I think it's the first time. I may want to be careful with saying that, but certainly in a while, that they have international folks voting. And that I just don't see Lied mit einem Text, guten Text, has any sort of shot with them. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think Germany has solid options. There's like one song I wouldn't choose.
Which one? Is it Trong?
No, this is going to be controversial, but I really dislike Patty Gurdy's song. I think it's it makes no sense that is one of the favorites to me. Like I don't get it at all.
Is it one of the favorites?
It is the big fan favorite on Twitter and stuff. Like
that's very. It sounds very Eurovision niche.
It sounds very Eurovision-y, but it's like so 2013, and it's so like cringy. And I'm like, oh no. Like if they send that, it will be my dead last probably.
I actually did a ranking of the original songs, right? There we had 9 original, right? It was my second to last as well.
8.
8? Okay, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever it was my second to last as well. I can it's nice actually. I don't hate it as much as you do, but I do feel it has cliches, and I think that is it feels I mean I didn't in the video, but I said something it reminds me of something that I would see Melodifestivalen in 2007.
Exactly.
And,
Like it's outdated and cliche. Like
yeah.
It's not what Germany needs right now.
Yeah, I personally don't gravitate towards it. I can see why people like it. I just didn't expect this one to be the fan favorite. I don't see this one winning, but again, who knows? It's Germany. I thought that Blood and Glitter was like the last time I checked, everyone was talking about Blood and Glitter.
A lot of people are talking about that one as well. But like the thing with the Petty Gertie song is that she openly talked about submitting the song to NDR. And like a lot of people thought it would be for the TikTok wildcard, but then she ended up being just a normal entry out of nowhere. So I think she was already kind of known, and that's why people kind of grew to like the song, perhaps. So maybe that's why I've seen that a lot. And you know, we all have our own little bubbles in that sense. So I might be completely wrong.
We shall see. Yeah, I wouldn't pick that one either. I know it's a cool instrument and all of that stuff, you know, and it has character and personality at the same time. Yes. And I keep also using that before. I love retro music, right? But there is a difference between retro and outdated to me. And I feel like this one unfortunately falls more into the latter category to me. And I wouldn't hate it when it actually goes through, but I would not be like, it would not be anywhere near my personal top 10 probably. So I'm getting a little nervous, Roy, because the first few national finals, we were like, oh, we're back to not agreeing to anything. And I feel like today we have lots of agreements again. I feel like we're getting closer again. This is not good. This is uncomfortable because I don't want to agree with you.
Yeah, it's a bad timing to do this live stream, but I mean, it's the first time we could kind of work together in our schedules.
Yeah. We're running out of time here, so let's just go. We haven't time to talk about Slovenia. Slovenia has released the song Carpe Diem by Joker Out. I was gonna call them Joker In. I have no idea why. And I don't know. It's just like I look at them, the name just won't stick with me. And it was released yesterday during all the other national finals, so I didn't even get to listen to it until I was done with Spain. And just as quickly as humanly possible, almost, Roy, what are your thoughts on the song? I know you have a reaction video, so you don't have to spoil it too much, but go ahead.
Yeah, check out that video, firstly, to everyone. Check it out after this
on Roy PM's channel.
Roy PM, my channel. I quite enjoy it, actually. It's a very fun song. I can really see this when I put it on the playlist. It really grow on me, and I really grow to like it. And it's quite a catchy song. Yeah, I quite like it. I think Slovenia has quite a decent chance of qualifying with this. Like, they're very young. If you saw the live performance, they had a lot of great chemistry with each other, a lot of great camera angles. Like, he looked directly in the camera for like 30 seconds straight, and it was like perfect nearly. Like, it was really, really good. I think Slovenia has something here.
Yeah, I think with Slovenia, I agree with that. Actually, when I did my reaction video, I listened to the clip that was put on Eurovision TV, right? And that was a music video. And everyone in the comment section was like, dude, you're stupid. You need to listen to the live. Da, 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 da. I'm like, I'm using what they're giving me, okay? So, of course, everyone being all like butthurt, I went and watched the live performance. And I saw what you're saying as well. And this is the kind of song, I even think I said it in my video, even without seeing the live performance. This song has all the potential to become even better live. Certain songs it's still a good song in the studio version, don't get me wrong. But I think certain songs just benefit from a good live performance if you have the right act and just a competent one, and they get the song. So I think, especially them being in the semi 2, I think this, again, unless there are going to be 10 other songs in a similar style, which I doubt, I think it could fill a niche that is really needed. And so Slovenia is certainly on my radar for qualification. Some people are saying it's like a guaranteed top 10 in the finals. I'm like, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. It is a little more out of the mainstream feel, and that is to me a good thing. And sometimes those go far, but not always.
People are incredibly good in overreacting to hearing new music. Like, everyone will be like, oh, Eurovision winner. And I think I've had that like 4 or 5 times this season already. Like it started with when God shuts the door in Ukraine. We've had the Czech song that was a Eurovision winner in Spain with Aya. Like people say it all the time, and they love overreacting to it. Yeah, I think it's quite a cool song, and I get that you reacted to the wrong thing. I did the same thing with Czech Republic. I listened to the live ones. Wasn't a good decision, really, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I would probably pick the recorded version first, anyways, over the live performance, just to have like that as a base, and then go from there, because that is what we usually use to judge songs pre-Eurovision, and that just makes sense. Let's see. Excuse me, the live performance was really nice, but I hope they build upon it for the big stage so that it doesn't become. Excuse me, got a burp. Band standing still playing instruments for 3 minutes. That's fair, but the thing is with Eurovision as a band, I don't expect them to do somersaults or whatever. I think you can still be a band standing for 3 minutes, and the camera work is doing the rest. You have at Eurovision the latest and greatest, most amazing technology with amazing backdrops, cameras spinning around, you're going up and down, and you can still stand there and it still looks amazing. So I would not worry about that piece too much. So that, if anything, it should make you feel better, because Eurovision can really make this pop. The singer oozes charisma in the live performance. Yeah, I think everyone agrees with that. So I think to wrap this up, Roy, you're saying, I'm saying this one has absolutely everything it takes to qualify. It just comes down to how it's gonna, the competition looks and how the feel.
Definitely, especially because Slovenia is also in the quote easier semi-final. Like historically seen, more of the lesser strong countries are in that semi. So Slovenia has a good song with that. It's also a young band, so like if they do well, I could see it really inspire the country to send more cool entries. Like I think this song could really be a turning point for Slovenia. Like they've really experimented with sending like younger artists like last year and stuff, with their EMA Fresh and stuff as well that came
They
around.
can last in the semi, so that kind of...
I know, but like if this is something that does well, then I can see Slovenia really improving after that. So I hope that will happen, because I want to see every country do the best that they can. And I totally think that this could go to the final. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Connor John wraps up perfectly. You don't have to do much to be engaging and charismatic. Monica Liu from Lithuania says hi last year. She barely moved. You know, she's like, da, 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 and everything worked. So that's what I'm saying. You don't need to do much if you have a proper stage concept. This is the opportunity now to have an open Q&A. I think we had more time, we're running out of time. So just shoot your questions, anything about national finals, anything else. Now's your time at ESC United. Here we are going. How are you going to watch 7 finals this weekend, plus heats and semifinals? Roy, how are you going to prioritize?
It might come as a surprise to you guys, but I am also just human. And I'm actually gonna do none of them, and because I have a party of 2 good friends of mine who also decided to celebrate their birthday on Saturday. So I won't even be seeing any of them at all. So I have to do all of the catching up on Sunday. But
how do you do that out of curiosity? Because do you know who wins when you go in because you pull it up somewhere, or you just really try not to find out who won before you watch it?
I mean, I will definitely check on the evening what's happening, because I think all of the countries that are deciding I've already made videos about, so I already know what's in the running. Like Italy's this week, I'll have listened to those. Estonia, I know all of the songs. Romania, I know all of the songs. Denmark, I know all of the songs. Croatia, I know all of the songs. Latvia, I'll know all of the songs. Italy, I already said. And Malta is the only one I don't really know, but I mean, it's Malta. Yeah. I would have known the song. Like I just see, oh, that one won, cool. And then I just look back at how the show was, and I'll have a fun time with that.
I'll tell you what I'm going, because again, we have Estonia, Romania, Lithuania, Sweden, Denmark, Croatia, Latvia, Italy, and Malta, right? 9.
Yep.
So this is how I try to approach it. Estonia starts earlier, so I can start watching it. They start at 6:30.
It's also going longer usually, though.
Well, they go longer. They have a break. Don't they have a break and then they do the results afterwards?
Yeah.
So at least, but the songs at least start early so I can listen. But if not, I've seen the semifinal performances. Romania will be a priority for me because I want to see the performances. Lithuania, it's a semifinal. I'll catch that later. I've seen the heats. Sweden, I will try to focus on because those songs disappear the qualifier, so that's more of a priority. I will get Denmark, Dora. I will try to squeeze in Latvia because I'm going to watch the semifinal performances soon, so it's slightly less priority because I will be able to see those as well. Italy will go until 5 in the morning, so hopefully we'll be able to squeeze that out. And then Malta. So I have to try to focus on Romania, Sweden, Denmark, Croatia, Italy, and Malta. I still have 6 shows. I just eliminated 3. I'm screwed. So I don't know yet. I have to sit down. I want to watch Dora so bad. So Croatia's pretty high up just because I love Dora. I want to see Romania. So Romania and Croatia.
Have you listened to the songs from Dora?
Yeah.
All of them?
No, just 2. Yeah, all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I want to see the performances. That often is a big difference. You know what I mean? Yeah. And plus, Romania always is so upsetting and dramatic. I need to see that. And let's see who else. Denmark is often just more of a, mellow. But I just like watching it. I just like watching them. So, but whatever I cannot catch, I will watch the same day because keep in mind, I'm like 9 hours behind you guys. So when the shows end, like let's say even at 11 o'clock, that's like my 2 in the afternoon. So I have all day to catch up on it. Granted, Italy's slightly different animal, but the rest is not a big deal.
It's actually true that someone puts in the comments right now that the Romanian broadcaster put like some sort of live performance of everyone in the same venue, but it's not the same as like really watching the show because like there will definitely be improvements and stuff. So it won't exactly be the same, but you could already watch those if you want to.
Yeah. MK is asking, what do you think about the Austrian duo for this year? And what do you think about the rumors that the song will be called Alan Edgar Poe? I haven't heard of that rumor. What are your thoughts and expectations on that? Do you have any thoughts or expectations? Because it's like, what about the act? Let's talk about the act first. Because about the song, I don't know. The name is, sounds different, but I cannot judge a song based on the song title. But what about the act?
The singers are quite decent and like they're very pop. I heard they were quite capable. I don't really know much about them, to be honest. I have heard about the rumor because there's this Twitter account on Twitter, on
Facebook.
It's like a Crystal Ball ESC, and for some reason, they have good leaks. Like every single thing that they have leaked to the world has been correct so far. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I kind of don't like when stuff gets leaked. So
same for me. I stay away from it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I did see so many people talk about Edgar Allan Poe, and I am curious how it will sound. I have no idea. I can't imagine it being good, but let's see, I guess. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. More questions at ESC United in here. I'll pull. What is your favorite song so far, and what do you think? Wait, let me read that again. What your favorite song so far, and what do you think can do the best so far? Roy?
Of all the selected ones?
Yeah, the 7 ones, I guess. Mine is the same answer. Norway. I think Norway has the best chance of doing well.
I think exactly. Yeah. I think Norway is the safest bet to do well, but I could see Spain doing better if it does get like the traction.
Fair.
So yeah, Norway for me personally, definitely my favorite at the moment.
Lane is saying, not sure if this was discussed or not, but your thoughts on the 23 Eurovision logo. We have not discussed that yet. So, Roy, the heart, infinite heart thing. You like it? Where you land?
I love it. I genuinely love that for the first time in I don't even know how long, we have a predominant different color than blue. I mean, last year was kind of red, but it was still kind of moody dark. It's like very yellow, very out there. I love the symbolism behind it. Like it's a Ukrainian flag. It's a dark blue of the flag of the UK. The pink hat of Kalush. It's really fun. I love the vibrant color. I love the font they use for the text.
I like the text that they're using as well. The slogan.
Exactly. Yes. My mind was fried there for a moment, but
Yeah.
they have
United.
texted us. Yes.
By
They
music.
texted us, can we use your channel name as part of our logo? And we're like,
Yeah,
sure.
and we asked for about what I don't want to disclose, about $500,000. So
half
we
a million
rich.
rupee, something like
We
that.
rich. No, this is true. But yeah, it would be nice. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I love it.
Are you done?
basically.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree with the colors. I love that they went with bright and enjoyable colors, because we always get the moody, the blue, dark, and all that stuff. Nothing wrong with that. It's pretty, but I do
Mhm.
like this very, very like in your. And once again, not just only it is united by music, they use most of our colors. Because we're using blue and yellow.
Yes.
Well, Ukraine colors, so it kind of helps us, I guess, But and then people said it's like a match, like ESC United and Movie Blocks had a baby, and then it created the colors because it's like blue, yellow, and pink. So I'm like, oh, I can see that. No, I like it. I actually really like it. Let's see here. Nature Boy, what do you think about ESCZ? So that's the Czech show. By the way,
right.
that will come out in 2 days, right? On Tuesday, I think the winner of the national final will be announced, because we saw the performances, and now we are waiting for the winner. Now the fans have a clear favorite, the international fans, and that is Vesna's My Sister's Crown. Although we saw some Czech polls where there are other favorites actually over that one, but the Czech only have a 30% say, I think, compared to the international, so they don't make count as much. What do you? Okay, Roy, it's your national final. Who you pick?
Oh, I think I'm picking Pam Rabbit.
Pam Rabbit.
Yeah, I just really like her as an artist. I don't think this is her best song, but I think she had the best performance as well in that crappy stage. It was like super small, and they all had to like adjust a lot of things. I think 2 of the songs are not really usable. I don't know. I think it's just the song that would possibly be the best to send for me. Like that would be my pick, basically.
Yeah,
it's a biased pick.
And so, but you also think your bias pick is also like you think that would do the best at Eurovision, because Vesna, My Sister's Crown, is the fan favorite, at least in the bubble. You don't think that would be the best choice for you? Put your personal taste aside. Just saying, like, just what people could potentially gravitate towards.
That's what I was thinking about while I was saying what I was saying. I was like, yeah, I don't even really know what I think would do better from the 2. Like, I could actually see people liking Pam Rabbit because she's quite a charismatic performer as well. And that really resonated with people. I think there could be a disconnect with My Sister's Crown from Vesna. I don't know. It's just, I could see it not engaging with the more casual audience. So I don't really know which of the 2 would do better in that case.
I don't know either. Because the reason is I haven't listened to them yet. Here's the reason. I missed. That's the only national final. So I was there watching, and then I had an emergency and I had to leave. So as the first song, I remember even watching the interview or something like that, and then I had to leave real quick. And I was like, darn it. And so I was like, you know what? And I didn't have time to watch them. I'm just going to watch the winner. And then probably we'll watch the other ones afterwards. But I figured I'm going to stay away from them. I know that Vesna is, everyone's talking about My Sister's Crown. I don't know about Pam Rabbit's ghosting. So you'll find out my answer on Tuesday, probably. That's where I'm at.
I mean, we won't find out who you think is the winner unless you like listen to all of them afterwards. I would advise listening to the studio versions, by the way.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
I made a mistake.
Thoughts on subwoofers revealing themselves? Not many thoughts. I just said, I kid around. I didn't want that. It's like seeing Santa naked. It really ruins it all for you. But at some point, as a singer artist, you want to be known as who you are. The gimmick of hiding behind a mask and all that stuff, well, it's just can last so long. If I was someone like that, I have my craft to be as who I am and not some character. It's fun for a year as they did it, but I don't blame them for revealing themselves.
It was the perfect timing for it as well, because if they did it immediately at or after Eurovision, it would get overshadowed by Ukraine winning, for example, and then the host cities and stuff. So like it wouldn't have the most impact, and you do it in front of your own audience, which is a really good idea. I mean, you knew as well, right, who they were beforehand, Matt?
I
it's also
heard
about
that.
insurance.
Yes, I didn't.
Yeah.
I think you talked about it, and I still didn't know who they were. And then they revealed themselves. I'm like, oh yeah, those were the names. I
Yeah.
still don't know who they are because in Live America they're unknown.
I think a lot of the press outlets already knew who they were, but we kind of all had this kind of gentleman's agreement to not talk about it at all. So, I mean, at least from my side, I never had the intention to do so. But you kind of can only hold that for so long. So eventually that bubble would burst as well. So I think it's perfect that it did it in this way.
Yes. Let's see here. Do you all think Cha 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 is a potential ESC winner? So those who don't know, Cha 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 is in the running in Finland, UMK. So first of all, it has not even won the national final yet. So it's a little premature to predict the future here, but I know that a lot of fans want this to win, thinking it would win. So in this scenario, Roy, do you think it has a shot at winning if it were to be selected or do well?
I think it's a tad too polarizing for it, but I would love to see it. Like I love the song. I've seen some live performances of him as well, and he's very capable. I've seen, but to be honest, like Finland literally could send any of those 7 songs, and I wouldn't be mad. Like you said, for me, Melfest the last couple of years have kind of been on a bit of a decline in quality and like overall things. Finland has really been on the rise, and it is kind of overtaking them as the new flagship national final for me. Like, this is how you want to do it. You have 7 amazing songs. Every artist gets a moment to shine. Like, everyone gets their day. People can get to know them, get to know the songs. All of the songs are amazing. Good promotion around it. I love it. Finland is really doing well, and I would love to see them win in the near future. So I would love to see it. Will it happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
How we love it, I don't know if the people will.
But at this point, at least in terms of UMK, you think it's just a matter of formalities? It's the winner?
Oh no, totally not. No.
You can think UMK is not the winner, and not Eurovision. UMK winner.
Oh, as a matter of fact, literally as of today, Ili Voimainen, the other song from Puma, is now #1 in the Spotify charts, and Cha 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 is like 3rd or 4th or something like that. So it's not even the highest streaming song at the moment in Finland. So I would not call it a race yet. But I mean, it will have an impact live to the people who don't know.
Yeah, they need to, I think, I mean, everyone knows I like 80s music. So we know my favorite in the running. But Cha 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 is a close second.
Oh, which one is it?
80s. Which one sounds like 80s, 90s?
Well, they're 2 kind of, right?
Hoida Moot, Benjamin.
Okay. Yeah,
I love that song. That's like my #1. I just cannot not love it. I know it's not going to win, but it'll always be my playlist. So
yeah,
my
playlist too.
And the good thing is, I think Cha 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 should be really good because almost every year my second favorite in Finland wins. Never my favorite. So I think you're in good hands. So I think this will happen again this year. So even though yes, the streaming, all that stuff, but I just don't think that Cha Cha is just too much to ignore. I think it's just gonna waltz through the win. I feel very, very confident about that one, but we'll see soon enough if I'm right or not. Just joined. What have guys talked about? Everything. I think we talked about everything. We're almost done here, actually. As a Portuguese, I have to ask, expectations for Portuguese national final. Roy, have you listened to Portugal?
Yeah, this is one of the ones where we disagree quite a bit. I love it. Yes, let's go. My favorite. Oh, I keep forgetting the woman's name.
How can it be a favorite?
Yeah, I mean it's my 3rd favorite. Let me real quick check what was called. Oh, Terezinha Landairo. Yes, right. Oh, that's
the name of the song or the name?
No, the name of the singer, and it's like Encanto. Yeah, that song. It's my 3rd favorite. I really like her voice.
What semi is that
in? Semi 2.
El Canto. I don't see a song that starts with El Canto. What's her name again?
Terezinha Landairo.
Oh, there she is. Okay. I don't even remember her right now. I would have to look up. Let me look at a picture. Go ahead. Keep talking.
And my 2nd favorite is the song that Matt loves really, really much. It's called Too Much Sauce. 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 Yeah. That's my 2nd favorite, and my favorite out of all of them is You Can't Win Charlie Brown with Contraste Mudo. I think that should be the choice for Portugal. I think it could do really well in Eurovision as well. It's calming, it's got staging written all over it. It's a bit like 2021, but in Portuguese. Like they can really have a classy staging. They know how to do it. Yeah, that's my pick. What about you?
Well, not those.
Too much sauce. Too much sauce. Too much sauce. Too much sauce.
That would. Here's the thing. I already cursed my favorites. Portugal never picks the songs I like. I mean, Salvador Sobral, probably the only time. And then they pick a song that's not even high up in my list. Like, it's beautiful. I thought Saudade was staging. The song was Left Me Cold. Love's on My Side, Left Me Cold. Both of them beautiful staging. And I see why people like it. But the songs, not listened to them once since Eurovision, right? So I just don't get that kind of music. So, and even previous years, it was like in 2018 when that came last with a host studio, I'm like, I don't understand why they pick these songs. So, and then my favorites, they just don't make it. And so I know that Mimicat will flop, unfortunately. I thought this would be an amazing entry and this would stand out. But
it's a favorite, I think.
Yeah, but doesn't matter. Love on My Side was not a favorite in the beginning until like all of a sudden, because it didn't win the televote or jury vote. And then I love Edmundo Inacio, beautiful. So one of those two would be my pick for sure. Mimicat probably will still be my number one. It's my kind of music. It's just cheerful, uplifting. Love it. So more of that for sure. What do you think about the new press rules? Well, I don't want to go into too much detail about that one because we're still trying to figure out what we don't like them. And I do think that a lot of them are, I should probably be the one addressing that, aimed at media that is more considered the traditional fan media. And it is a little upsetting, of course, to us, and it affects us in major ways. So, and when we're talking about even the closed rehearsals, all that stuff, it's just other rules that we're implementing in addition to that. So, yeah, obviously we don't like them. Which internal selection are you most excited for? Connor John is asking. Roy, of those still coming up, I guess Finland.
Internal selection, they said.
Oh, is this an internal selection?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm dumb. Thank God I'm pretty.
That's okay.
Go ahead. Which one?
Let me get the list of all of the countries because I can't remember on top of my head which ones.
Yeah,
I mean,
just for obvious reason, you must be interested in the Netherlands, your country. But let me see.
Listen.
Listen.
I am not that excited for it. I'm not that excited for our country this year, unfortunately.
Why? You don't even know the song yet?
No, but it just scares me that the selection procedure is different than what they used the last couple of years. I don't know.
What's different?
Something. The last couple of years, they went for the song over the artist. And so they just chose the song regardless of what artist sang it. Like, for example, there's a big rumor that Armin van Buuren, one of our biggest DJs, and
not for Waylon. Waylon picked was
true. After Waylon, they did that, and it worked for Duncan Lawrence and stuff. And now they just asked Duncan, "Oh, who should we send?" And he picked those two. So it's not based on the song necessarily.
Oh no, they're trying to recreate the magic there.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I'm so scared because. I don't know. Besides Arcade, Duncan is not really my cup of tea with music-wise, and I don't think it's necessarily the best for Eurovision. I don't know. We have to wait for the song. It's just I'm not very, very, very hyped for it. But Dutchies are always very negative about their songs, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like we always hate on our babies, and then we kill our babies. Like
I know, right? That's funny. Who else are you excited about? I'm going for the list here right now.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the. I'll do mine first and give you a second.
Yeah, go.
Obviously, out of the ones, it's still the UK. I want to see if they had a fluke or if this is a consistent approach. And I know they're having a similar approach, so that's good. But do they have just like a lucky pick, or are they onto something? So this is like a big moment for me. Are they going to continue this awesomeness? So I'm very much interested in the UK. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am most excited about Georgia because Georgia is one of my favorite Eurovision countries the last couple of years. I love a lot of their songs, and she seems to be a really good singer, that one, The Voice. So I'm very curious to see what kind of song they send with her. I would love to see them back in the final again as well. And another one that I'm quite curious about is Israel, because she's quite a known name in Israel, and even
Huge
outside
hype,
of
yeah.
that, she's a big name. So I'm very curious what type of song she'll come with.
What is asking, how do you get Eurovision tickets? Either a lot of money or know the right people to sleep with, I think.
Yeah.
So one of those
Oh.
options. Honestly, did I say that out loud? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you did.
I haven't. No. I used to get OJE tickets actually, and then the last time was in 2015. And I haven't attended a show, like ticketed show since 2015. But to answer the question, aren't they going to say like in a day or two?
I don't know. We don't know the exact details of when they go live.
I
think it was
saw
like end of February or something.
I thought I could be wrong. Let me click you on tickets. Yes, they gave me the information. Oh yeah. Yeah, no answers yet. Okay, so they're not out yet. Okay.
No.
I saw something. I saw maybe it said in 2 days we get more information or something like that.
Yeah, that might be right.
Yeah, something like that. So usually the thing is they're going to give you like sometimes just 2 days. You're like, in 2 days we're going to open the first wave of tickets, and then just better be ready. So check every day. You sign up for a newsletter, go to ESC United or any other website, and stay on top of it. Just pay attention to social media because this usually happens really, really fast.
Yeah, and if you don't get tickets, like if you miss out and you still want to go, it is still amazing to be in the entire experience and just be in the city, just experience all of it. Go to Eurovision Village to watch the semifinals.
Go early.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the grand final last year, it was full before we got there, which was a bit unfortunate. But like we even did reactions in Eurovision Village. It's so fun to be there watching the semifinals. Like it's fun.
Yeah, and are you buying any tickets this year? Because you bought semi-tickets, right? For the
we had like the family show in the morning, I think.
Oh, that's
I don't know. I haven't really thought about them yet. Like we first need to find a place to stay that's affordable.
Yeah.
Because looking at those prices, I cry myself to sleep at night sometimes.
Yeah, we need to communicate because I mean the thing is though there will be more things opening up. They did put aside rooms, so hold on. I know we're already in February and we're like 3 months away. It feels so. I know it's nerve-wracking because I like things ready, but
me too.
Yeah. So I don't know either yet. Both Roy and I will be in Liverpool. Are you gonna be? And we're gonna be there the entire time, basically. Even though, as we found out, there will be no open rehearsal. There's still stuff to cover, and we're still gonna have stuff to do. So don't worry. There will be plenty of coverage, meeting the artists, and discussing what we've seen and in the details, and of course,
maybe more time to hang out in the city.
That is true, but how much time can you spend in Liverpool, right? At some point you maybe, but in usually other and I said I may travel actually because I'm coming in like more than 2 weeks before. I'm like, well, I could just travel, maybe go to Paris for a few days and just, I can always, we'll see. Roy, I think you have to wait until the tickets are available. Jelly has said the same thing before. Once people don't get tickets, they will cancel the Airbnbs or hotels and the prices will come down. Plus, a bunch of hotels have been blocked off by the city as well, and they will be released in due time. So hopefully we're going to grab something. If not, we'll figure something out, hopefully. But yeah, it is a little frustrating.
It's just unfortunate because last year, me and Melanie had we booked something together, and it was like literally the day it was announced that it was going to be Turin. Within half an hour, Melanie had found like quite an affordable place. It was really nice, very spacious, close to the arena. It was perfect, and we had everything sorted for the entirety of the season, and we didn't have anything to worry about. So now it's a bit like a worry kind of back in your head somewhere that like, oh, I still need to do that as well. But, oh well.
Yep. That is true. What do you think? Eurovision should really start to host ESC in different sport arenas like in Düsseldorf back in 2011 so that more people can get to the contest? That would be nice. One of the downsides for that is you limit the opportunity, like how many countries can host it, because most people don't have that kind of place. Plus, a lot of these big sports arenas are not suitable for Eurovision. There are other requirements beyond the size of the arena. A proper roof. It needs to be high enough. There needs to be an area for press center nearby. There's so many other requirements that come into play to that. So just having a big arena isn't always the only thing. Sure, it's great to have a lot of people in there, but it's also logistically a nightmare.
And they're also building that stage for like over a month. Like it takes quite a long time to build that stadium. Then Eurovision will be there for 2 weeks. And then it's like another 2 weeks to completely destruct everything. If you have like a football team playing in there, they would have to not have any home games for those 2-3 months that Eurovision will be there. So it's a lot of commitments that you have to get rid of. Also, like
in a short amount of time. We have less than a year, to figure that one out.
Exactly. Like, and even concert venues, like in the Netherlands, when we hosted, our biggest venue is in Amsterdam, but they had a lot of big artists scheduled around Eurovision. And if you have to replan all of those, that would cost them a lot of money. Like, it's not as simple as just, oh, this arena would be suitable. Like, every agenda needs to be checked. All of the things have to be checked if it will work out. Like, compromises have to be made. It's not as easy.
Yep, that is true. That is true. I know we've been talking a lot. I just wanted to go back to one thing here real quick, and that is we already talked about what's happening next week. Again, a lot. Roy will be partying, and then he'll be watching probably all the shows the next day. Am I right?
Yeah.
You're committed to that. You're going to blog off Sunday, right? To watch everything.
I mean, I have a handball game on Sunday as well, so I can't even really do that either.
Oh my God, Roy!
I'm just busy.
That's the thing. I get it. I've been struggling as well, so don't worry. I know it. I actually had to make an effort to keep my weekends open until the end of the month because I was supposed to be traveling next week, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't miss all of that, especially in the position that I'm in. But to go back, one question, since it was similar to the internal selections, which national final, not next week or including next week, are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, I love Finland, of course. Like, but to be honest, I'm not necessarily as excited because I would be fine with any of those songs. Maybe two of them a little less. So I don't really mind the results. I love Estonia this year. I think it's really, really strong, and there are so many cool songs that could get chosen. And like, all of my favorites are kind of in the conversation as well to who could win. So that's kind of cool. So I think Estonia and Finland are really my two picks to watch.
Yeah. Two things. First, to answer the same question, I agree. I will say I'm looking forward to Poland. We don't have the songs yet, but me being Polish, even though I'm German, but my ancestors are from Poland. I have a song, and I'm rooting for Poland so hard. So I was thrilled about where they went last year. So I'm also hoping that Poland's going to continue to put forward competitive music, whether you like them or not. To me, it's less about if I like the song. It's about being competitive and actually being a player at Eurovision. I think Poland, I'm really paying attention to that one as well. Also, I want to give a big shout out, first of all, to Osiris for doing such an amazing job moderating the chat. Couldn't do it without you. I also want to just, if somebody else wants to become a host, a moderator, just reach out to me on Twitter and let me know. I'd be happy to add you as well, Matt, ESC United, if you're interested. You don't have to be there all the time, but it would be nice to have, a few more help and not have it all on one person right now. So, but very much appreciated.
Doing God's work.
Yes, doing God's work. Thank you so much. So everyone, we got to call it a night. But thank you. There was so much to talk about. We'll be back next either Saturday. No, we can't do Saturday because Italy. So I'll be back next Sunday. Probably not with Roy because he's got to throw handballs. But maybe I'll bring somebody else with me. We'll
see about that.
Yeah, but you'll be back, right? Because in case you didn't know, Roy was temporarily let go from ESC United. I fired him because the Netherlands kicked out the US in the World Cup, and I cannot.
Oh, right, yeah.
Both Melanie and Roy were like, out. So once the Netherlands was eliminated, I was like, okay, you can't come back.
Yeah.
Traitors.
3 days. 3 days.
3 days. 3 long days. Job. I know. Delete them from the website and all of that. No. So everyone, have a good night. Thanks again for sticking around. And again, thank you for all of your support. And I'll see you on the other side. Good night.
Good night.
Keep waving. We're still on.